Testing 1 2 1 2.
Wolves TV Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
It's the area, back onto the football, Jimenez! Oh, Jimenez gives Wolves the lead. Traore! Another Traore! Oh my word! Neves brings it down on the body. Oh, you must be kidding me! Ruben Neves has just struck a sensational goal. Close it all, that's unbelievable. Charlotinho has whipped it into the far top corner. Can you believe this?
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
A very good evening. Welcome to Elland Road, Leeds, Yorkshire. Leeds United against Wolverhampton Wanderers, two of the most famous names in the game. It's been quite a while since the two have gone head-to-head at this level of competition. 16 years the Yorkshire side have been away from the top flight. Wolverhampton Wanderers have been leading the way in terms of how newly promoted sides have been competing in the Premier League. So hopefully Wolves can continue to show the way this evening. I'm Mikey Burrows. Alongside me as ever, a couple of seats away from me, is Andy Thompson here at Elland Road, and joining us from home as ever is Chris Iwelumo and Carl Ikeme as well. Great to have you all with us, boys. We'll get to the team lineups very shortly. We've got some incredible guests to join us as well before kickoff. First and foremost, though, we are in this situation, Tomo, where we've had a little bit of this international break, and hopefully there's no rustiness to try and shake off.
Well, you're hoping so, aren't you? So, like, say Conor Cody's went away and done really well for England, and you're hoping that he's going to bring that into the game this evening. But again, it's a break that probably we didn't want. That we wanted to work with the players on the pitch, the training ground. Was it the comeback Thursday, and then you've got them for a couple of days? So it is tough when you're looking at that you need your players to work with, especially when we haven't had the best of starts. So just winning the 2 games. But look, an opportunity this evening that we can get 3 points, but it's going to be a tough ask, and they've got to make sure that we're up for the game.
Tomo, on that one, like after you get that win against Fulham, you want to kind of, when is there a good time for an international to come along? Because you want that kind of feel-good factor around the place. But like you say, there's a lot of players that go away on international duty, so you don't really have that camaraderie in the group. You know what I mean? But I totally agree. I think it came at the wrong time. It was a great reaction, great result after what was a poor show against West Ham, but we got the result against Fulham. And then you just want the next game to come so you can take that form into that. This is a difficult match tonight. It's very interesting because Leeds, like Wolves, have come up. There's no fear of the Premier League. They're playing the exact same way. They've got quality there. They ran away with it last year because they just kind of overrun. And like the thing with Bielsa, he doesn't have a plan B. So you know what Leeds are going to do tonight. It's about what can you set up to stop that. And I think obviously you'll go through the team selection. I just think we've got personnel in there that have got such a big job defensively as well as what we do with it when we've got it.
We'll get to that team selection in just a moment, and we'll talk a lot about how Leeds might play. But we talk about internationals, Carl Ikeme, and I guess the point is worth making that a number of Wolves players went away with their countries and performed really well. Raul Jimenez had a couple of games and got a goal for Mexico. Of course, Conor Cody, what an incredible couple of weeks he's had away with England. And even Pedro Neto and Vitinha were scoring for Portugal's under-21. So those who've gone away have had a pretty good couple of weeks. It's now about whether they can transmit that into their Wolves performance, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I think when you've had a long international break, things haven't gone your way. Things ain't going your way at the club. It can be a bit more difficult to come back, but leaving on a victory against Fulham, going away, Cody's obviously scoring, Traore doing well for his country. as you said, Pedro Neto, Martino doing well as well. They'll come back with a lot of confidence. I think as we're talking about the international break, I think because we looked really good in the first game and then kind of stuttered in the three after, I think that's kind of why we felt like the international break didn't come for a good time, because we wanted to see these players play a bit more together. But they've all done well. Hopefully they've come back ready, roaring to go. And like you said, it might have been a positive as well, in the sense that they've all done well. They've had a bit of confidence. Obviously, Code is probably over the moon right now, along with the other players that have done well and scored for their country. So hopefully they bring that form back to the Wolf shirt.
I think what we've got to remember is we've got 6 points in 4 games, and we're not happy. So it shows you how far we've came. You know, when we're looking, and that's exactly what it says, doesn't it? No, that's. If you think about any other season, it's a campaign, 4 games, you've taken 6. You think, you know what, we're ticking along nicely. But for the bar where the team and the group have set it, we're sitting thinking, you know what, it's not good enough. But like you say, in that we know exactly what we're going to get today. And I just think the boys, they've went away, they've had good form with our international team. We already know the relationship they've got when they come into the group. So I know that Nuno, he might want to work on things, tweak a few things. We're in a transitional period as well, remember. So we're trying to progress those small steps, Keems, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what you're saying, I think what the difference is this time coming around is that there's been change, isn't there, at the club? There's been change in personnel. There's been a slight change in style. And I think that's why we were talking about the international break. And we're not being happy because we're a bit unsure of what we're going to get at the minute. We're not too sure. Obviously, the team obviously says looks like he's coming on left side. We're unsure about the balance of the team so far. So I think, yes, we should be very happy with 2 wins out of 4. It's not a bad return at all. I think it's more the performance. We're used to seeing a solid Nuno performance. Even if we don't win the game, we know what we're used to seeing. I think that's where the kind of, I don't know if it's a worry or the intrigue comes and how are we going to perform. I think the performance is the big thing for us at the minute.
Don't you think it's a bit of a bitter taste after the West Ham defeat, the way that we lost the game? That's the thing, isn't it? I think that's the thing that everybody's looked at, the way that we played against West Ham and the goals that we conceded. I think that's why I think the people are thinking, hang on a minute, what's going on here? But look, so he's proved us that to us, Nuno, that he can get things right and he can get the transfers right, he can get the team right. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to trust him that he can get things right the way that we played before. And as we've touched on, we have changed, we're trying to develop the way that we play and the way that we go out there and play games.
I know everyone's on the same boat, but I think no fans coming in is a massive miss for us because they give us so much, you know, that the players can get up that intensity. You know, the stats have come out that players aren't covering the same distance, nowhere near the same distance when there's fans in. That says a lot for me, you know. So I know everyone's on the same boat, but you know what the Wolves fans bring that group of players when they walk over that line, home and away.
Well, we've got plenty of big guests joining us, so we should probably bring in our first guest tonight. The former Leeds United and England man, Danny Mills, is joining us. He might need to just twist his phone round so we haven't got him sideways for the time being. Lovely to see you, Danny. Great to have you on Wolves TV, Matchday Live Extra. We've just been talking about the last couple of weeks of international football, and it's one of those situations where Conor Coady, I mean, we talk about kind of players living the dream. That's exactly what Conor Coady did, Danny, for England.
Can you see me, Mikey?
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Right. Let me. What's going on? Technology, eh? There we go. We're in.
Go.
How's that work? There we go.
International football. I know you're keen. We'll talk about Leeds in a minute, Danny, but we are just talking about.
What do you mean? We're only going to talk about Leeds, surely. That's all we're here to talk about. You know, Leeds are the biggest show in town, surely.
Wolves TV gives it away a little bit, Danny.
Yeah, but you know, it's only a big game because Leeds are on.
Conor Coady, you know, what an amazing story. I know you're pretty close with Gareth Southgate. Talk to him an awful lot. The fact that Coady, in the space of about 2 weeks, really has become an integral part of England. We've known for a long time around Wolves what kind of character he is. Do you think people outside of that and internationally are now seeing just what he can produce?
I've been saying for a long time, Mikey, that there is a real imbalance at the moment. We have a lot of attacking options around the country. We've got fantastic players, but we've got defenders that can't defend anymore. And that's a big problem. And I think thankfully Conor Cody can defend first and foremost. You're a defender for a reason, because if you were that much better, you'd be a midfield player or you'd be a striker. So you've got to be able to defend, and he can do that. Which is really encouraging. He can also play. But first and foremost, he's got that bit between his teeth. He's got that little bit of bite where he can put his foot in. He can make a tackle. And I think that's what makes him so assured at the moment.
Danny,
Sorry, Looms. What's it like when you go away with England? Because it's such a big...
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's so nerve... I mean, he's been in, 2 or 3 squads now? I think I was in 19 caps, but I must have been in 50 odd squads. Even like when you get into the 40s, you turn up. It's nerve wracking because you're playing against your peers. There aren't any other. I don't think there's no other Wolves players in there, are there? He might know 1 or 2 players, from his younger days and maybe social media, whatever. But when you walk into that room, it's like, where do I sit for dinner? Who do I sit next to? And it's nerve-wracking. The first thing you want to do when you arrive at the hotel is bump into somebody, an old teammate or somebody from your youth team days, whoever it is, just so you've got somebody to talk to. It's almost like just somebody to hold your hand and be there, because it doesn't matter how many caps you get, it's still incredibly nerve-wracking.
It's when you come back, though, and, now people will look at him and maybe expect more from him at club level because he's a full England international.
They will, but trust me that the players will bring him down to earth very, very quickly. The moment he does something a little bit flash, a little bit different, it'll be, big time now, are we? Got yourself an England cap. The players will keep his feet firmly on the ground. But, I don't know him, but he seems a very level-headed guy anyhow, to be captain and the sort of, I think the authority that he shows, to go onto that England pitch, and he was very, very vocal, bossing people around. That shows that he's got a lot of self-belief, and a lot of ability to do that. And I think, and that's great to see, because we, again, not only do we lack defenders, I think, in this country, we also lack characters, and people that are prepared to speak up.
I'm going to let you talk about Leeds then, because I know you've been waiting 16 years for the opportunity to be back at this level, enjoying it, I bet.
I mean, no one has the right to be in the Premier League. And of course, we all know it's a massive shame, that fans can't be there. But I think when you talk about teams like Leeds, and obviously you were around, back when you're in League One and the Championship and up and down and everything else, it's a massive club. It's a shame that, it's not a full house. But I think what's been really encouraging is that Bielsa's unique. He is unlike any other coach or manager on the planet. He does what he wants to do, no matter what. And I've been surprised a little bit by Leeds have just played in exactly the same way they have done for the last 2 seasons. And it's gone okay for them. When you look at the players that he had, Luke Ayling was, on the fringes of Leeds in League One and the Championship. Matthias Klick, when Bielsa came to the club, was pretty much on his way out, and he's transformed him. He's now brought in new signings. But I think, they're not dissimilar to the way that Wolves play, in all honesty. They've got some good players in there. They've got some very, very good technical players, but they're intense. They play with a press. They play football in the right way. And this could be a really entertaining game this evening.
What's a realistic expectation for Leeds then, Danny?
I think I've said all along, don't get carried away. Success for me would be if they can finish, if they're 15th by sort of March with 6 or 7 games to go and they're safe, brilliant. Let's not get carried away. Let's not start thinking, they can do a Wolves like they did first season, and finish, into the top 8 and those sort of things. You have to consolidate in that first season and just be realistic about, what you're going to do. And I think that's the most important thing, that they started very, very well and they've been very, very entertaining. But by that nature, there's going to be games where they don't win for 5 or 6 games in a row. And it's how they react off the back of that. So, yes, Leeds will be very entertaining. I think, and there will be a surprise for a lot of teams. but because of the way they play, they will lose a few games as well. So just be safe, so you've not got that nail biting, 5 or 6 games left at the end of the season, and I'll be happy with that.
I love that. I mean, it's the thing, isn't it? Because Danny, as you know, like I lived up here for a good couple of years, and you're right. This place it needs Leeds to be doing well, because the fans will be there no matter what. And actually, a similar story to Wolves in a lot of ways, that a team that had a big dip and are now coming back. And it's important that teams like Leeds and Wolves, and obviously we've had the whole Project Big Picture stuff in the last couple of weeks as well. It's important teams like Leeds and Wolves are allowed to try and get back to that level and challenge.
Definitely. They're big clubs. They're very, very well supported. And you want, you want Wolves, you want the Newcastles, even the Sunderlands. I want, the biggest teams with the biggest fan bases. That's what I want in the Premier League, and then play fantastic football. Because, once crowds are allowed back in, you want incredible atmospheres. I'm not going to, I don't want to be going to Bournemouth with 11,000 fans and watching games. That's not, for me, that's not the Premier League. Premier League is, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people at that game, watching a fantastic brand of football, whatever that might be. And I think it's right. These clubs now, hopefully with the financial backing that they've got, will be, if they can secure safety. I think if you can get in the Premier League for 2 or 3 seasons, and then you can sort of say, okay, now we've arrived, and now you can try and look to build off the back of that. If you try and do it too soon, bring too many players in and rush it, it can go horribly wrong very, very quickly.
Danny, really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us.
Not a problem.
Cheers, Danny. All the best.
I'm going Leeds 4-2 win.
That's what you get. I wasn't going to ask you a prediction because I knew what it was. Thank you, mate. Good to see you. Danny,
no worries. Take care, guys.
Leeds, of course, Manchester City, and others, and former England international as well, joining us on Matchday Live Extra. It's an important point, though, isn't it? And it's about the evolution, Carl Ikeme, because we are seeing it from Wolves. And actually, on my screen right now is a key part of Leeds at the minute. It's Helder Costa, who was part of the Wolves revolution of the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's important. I think sort of Danny and alluding to how it's a very similar story to Wolves. I think Leeds are that. They've come up playing exactly the same style that they were playing last year. Successful, they look dangerous. And that's why it makes this game such a tough one tonight. It's kind of, they're not used to losing. They're used to winning every week. So they're coming into every game thinking that they're going to win, they're going to play their way. And they believe in what they're doing. They believe in the manager. Every player believes in their tasks and know their tasks. And it's just clicking for Leeds at the minute the same way it has been for Wolves for the last couple of seasons. And we're in a different evolution now because we've been that successful. We're used to success, and we're not happy because we've won 2 out of 4 and we've got 6 points, and we're not quite looking the same as we were last season quite yet. So they're in their bubble where they're sort of enjoying it and flying and doing well, and we're in a different sort of evolution where we've done that well. We're looking to kick on again.
Looms, I know you're desperate to come in. Just hold on 1 second, because we do have someone with a bit of an insight into how this Leeds United team play. He was also a massive part of the Wolves side that won promotion, and a big part of the Leeds team that won promotion as well. Awkward for him to have a foot in both camps tonight. A big hello to Barry Douglas, joining us on Matchday Live Extra. How are you, my friend?
Good, but I don't know if I've got my body.
We don't know if he's got us working yet. We'll try and get that sorted out. Looms, you can jump in, because we're talking about this Leeds way of playing. We'll hear from Barry in just a second about it, but it's been impressive the way that they've come into the Premier League.
No, it has. It has been impressive. Everyone knows the responsibilities. But Danny hit the nail on the head there when he said that there's no one like Bielsa. He plays the exact same way, and I just feel that, you remember Wolves had that tricky period in that first season in the Premier League where they went, 4 defeats, I think it was on the bounce, or no win in 5 or something like that. And Nuno had to tweak a few things. He moved a few. Bielsa doesn't do that. And I just feel it's one of those things that I would love to hear Barry's thoughts on it. The fact that when Leeds do find it hard and they do have a few defeats on the bounce, it's just the same information coming. Whereas sometimes you do need to change it up a little bit just to try and change your luck, because, like you say, the quality and the competition in the Premier League is great. But Bielsa has an arrogance about him that he sticks to his guns, and I think sometimes you've got to have a plan B and sometimes even a plan C.
We're all looking at Barry. I'm not sure he can hear us at the minute. We will come to him in just a second when he can hear us. We talk about Helder Costa, Carl Ikeme. You know him pretty well. How do you think he'll be feeling tonight coming up against Wolves?
Good question. I think that he will probably be a little bit hurt that Wolves let him go. And I think he's going to have the bit between his teeth to show us what he feels that we've missed. He's a great lad, and it won't be nothing personal with Wolves, but I think he done really well for Wolves. He helped us massively get up. He was brilliant when he was there, to be honest, in training. No one could touch him at times, like I said that. And he deserves to be in the Premier League as well. So I think he'll be looking tonight to prove a point to Wolves, to say that he shouldn't have let me go. And it's up to us to keep him quiet.
Don't you think?
Hello, Barry Douglas.
Hi guys.
Baz.
I'm a join.
We're just talking about Helder Costa, mate, and kind of how he might feel coming up against Wolves today.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of an emotional game for him, but exactly what Carl just said there. I think he'll have that bit between his teeth almost to show what they're missing and why they shouldn't have let him go, because he's an exceptional player. So it'll be an interesting game.
Talk to me about the way this Leeds team go about their football, and what is Marcelo Bielsa actually like day to day?
Relentless is a good description. It's a unique regime. So there's not many other teams that will set up the way Leeds do, and I think it's almost going to be like a game of chess tonight, because Nuno, we know, is very intellectually clever when it comes to tactics. Also, Marcelo will just be sticking to his guns the way that we normally set up and plays man to man. So it'll be really interesting for the neutral.
Harry, you know when Leeds, when they go through like a tough period and like maybe they have a couple of defeats on the bounce, Bielsa's not going to mix it up. It's going to be the same information and instruction going into the players. He doesn't really have a plan B. Do you see that as a negative for them, though?
I think it can be a positive and a negative. I think the philosophy is almost, when something's not working like that, if you hit a little bad patch, it's to do more of the same, but intensify it. So it's such a good, humble group of guys, which is the reason why it does work, because it is very, very mentally and physically demanding. Yeah. And you've seen it in football where dressing rooms will maybe not adhere to the kind of structures that's happening and play to that philosophy, but the boys stick to it. And up until now, it's definitely worked in everyone's favour, so long may that continue.
Yeah, Barry, so look, you've been in both camps when they've got promotion from the Championship. Is there any similarities between the two, do you think, when you've gone to both clubs?
The completely different structures, philosophies of football, but probably the boys. I think having that close-knit, humble group, which allows everyone to then prosper and push each other on, is probably a big factor in why the two clubs have been successful.
You've done it twice now, and now the job is to try and make it a hat trick with Blackburn.
That's the plan. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes on. But yeah, it's a new challenge for me. It's a new club. So yeah, let's see how we get on.
Well, mate, we're delighted that you could join us. Just before we do let you go, I'm not going to ask you for a prediction because I know you're not going to go either way on this. But do you expect the two styles of football to actually be quite entertaining tonight?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. The systems will probably cancel each other out, but it's just so relentless from both teams that it's going to be impossible to not have chances. So I'm going to say it will be a score draw. I'll go for 2-2.
Fence. He's on the fence.
That's the way to be. Barry, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me again.
We'll see you soon. And, very best
Easy,
of luck
lads.
at Blackburn, my friend. We believe in you. We're all very proud of what you've done at Leeds, and hopefully you can go on and do it again.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Barry. Good to have you with us. Barry Douglas on Matchday Live Extra here on Wolves TV. It's really interesting insight, isn't it, Looms, about kind of the characters and, you know, two very strong characters on either technical area tonight, and clearly two men who have made sure that teams go out there and play exactly the way they want them to.
No, I think the attention to details, like you say, it's unbelievable from both. I think it's quite interesting what Barry said there. You know, it's even if they come up against tough times, it's basically like more of the same, but we want you to be more intensity. You know, and I've watched the way that Bielsa and his staff, they've all got their jobs. They'll have a staff member going at the defence, making sure that they're at it. Information every minute, bum, 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 not a second, and they'll have another one at the midfield. He'll just chill out and watch, and then he'll just say his little bits. You know, Nuno, he puts his information in, and you see him individually talking to the players. It's a little bit more calm, but like the players know the responsibilities, they know the way that they want to play. It is, but very, very interesting. Both managers, like Nuno himself, you know, he has an arrogance, and as a manager, you have to have an arrogance because if you keep changing the information that you're putting to the players will see right through that. So you have to tweak it, but Bielsa doesn't. So we're going to find out if that's going to be a negative. I think they've got good players. I see them winning more games that they're going to lose. But like you said, I think these two formations tonight coming against each other is going to be very, very interesting. I think the Neto, you know, he has a responsibility to kind of go on the back of Calvin Phillips, but I'm ruining your formation thing, so I'll stop.
We'll talk about it, and we'll put the formation up as we are talking about it, because the most interesting thing, I guess, Tomo, first and foremost, is that Romain Saiss stays in the left wing back position and Max Kilman keeps his place. I mean, I thought Kilman did really well against Fulham.
I think so as well. I'll say, was he best passer in the Wolves team, wasn't he?
Yeah.
On the Fulham game, so it just shows you about what they did and how he played. And look, he hasn't disappointed whenever he's come into the side. He's played really well. He's comfortable on the ball, and that's something that we want from one of our back lads, to be comfortable on it and say, look, it didn't phase him out. So, look, he deserves it on merit. I think Saiss did okay down that left-hand side. I would like him to go a little bit further forward at times, but again, he's there filling a space that we've got rid of the fullback, Vinegra. So he's got to go in there and play. So that's one of the big things for me. That wherever he's asked to play, Saiss, he always does a job and he always commits himself to the cause. And that's what you've got to do when you get into that 11. And look, all of us will just say, you want to be playing in that starting 11. It don't matter where you play. I know probably want to play up front, Looms, not at the back, but you want to be playing. You want to be playing in that starting 11, especially in the Premier League as well.
Just on that, you look at Saiss and Semedo. I think they've got such a big job tonight, you know, because Dallas and Luke Ayling as well. They are so relentless, you know. That it's all game long. So it's basically who's going to win that battle. You know, it's so important to get on the front foot, try and push the opposition player back. But like you say, Leeds, no matter how you set up against them, they play the exact same way. They have that high energy, they're in your face. They try and play through. For me, Calvin Phillips is the main man. If you can stop him getting on the ball, you take away a dynamic there, one of the dimensions of Leeds play. So I just think the fact that if it's going to be Podence, who I think without the ball, I think he works hard defensively, but more often than not, it's going to be Neto, I think. Can he just hover around Phillips in there, stop him getting on the ball? Because if they do that, trust me, we'll get the better of them tonight.
I think as well, just to add to the formation, say staying in, I think Nuno, obviously the West Ham defeat, wanted to shore up against Fulham. He's probably thinking again tonight, let's not fight fire with fire. Let's have a solid performance, have a solid base, and we've got players that can hurt these on the counter attack. You start playing a basketball match with Leeds, you can go either way. And I think that's what probably Nuno is thinking as well, to stick with the same formation, just to keep things a bit solid.
And saying that, Keems, even Fulham had 2-3 chances that they should have done better on. It was straight at Patricio on a couple of occasions. So we just got to think about, I think you have to be, you've conceded quite a lot of goals, so you straight away you've went out and you had a clean sheet in the next game. So he can't really change that.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Of course, I think keep it the same, keep it solid. Let's just stay solid for now until we can really get that rhythm of playing as well. I don't know if that's exact thinking, but like you said, it's hard to change the team when you've had a clean sheet as well, and Kilman's been brilliant as well.
Just hearing, by the way, that Liam Cooper, the Leeds captain, has been injured in the warm-up, and Pascal Struijk will come in his place. So to lose their captain at this stage, so close to kickoff, will be a real potential loss for Leeds. We'll talk more about that in just a second, because we've already had an incredible lineup of guests on tonight, but we have one more for you before kickoff here on Matchday Live Extra from Wolves TV. We've been all round the place, and we're heading off to Turkey to say a big hello to the legend that is Nua Dicko. Hello, my friend.
Hello, guys.
Nua.
How are you? This is Carl, huh?
Yes, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm really good, man. I'm really good.
It's good to see you, man.
And you. It's been a long time.
It's been a very, very long time. Hope you're well.
And teeth are shining. You've been in Turkey for a while, yeah?
We're kind of looking back on some recent wins that Wolves have had here at Leeds. You scored a winner a couple of seasons back. Do you remember that game? Do you remember much about it?
Which game was it? The 4-3?
1-0.
1-0. I don't remember that game.
Ben Marshall.
You scored the winner.
Oh, away.
Dude, that was the whole point. Yeah. That was the whole point of you coming on tonight to talk about.
I didn't know it was that game. Sorry. Yeah. I remember now. Yeah. It was a good game. It was a massive game for us. I remember. Like, I think when we won that game, we were automatically safe after that game. Mathematically, I think. Because it was a tough season, and it was a good game. And I remember it was a tough season for myself because I was coming back from this injury, and that goal was massive for the club and was massive for me as well. Yeah, it was an amazing game for me.
Because you mentioned about it, kind of making sure that Wolves were safe. In a way, that kind of then led on to everything that's happened in the last couple of years. How proud are you when you look back now at the part you played in where this football club has got to?
Well, when you put it that way, I'm very proud of this goal, because as you just say, now Wolves is even bigger than when we were at the time, and looking at what they're doing now, it's just impressing. And every week when I watch the result and when I have the time to watch the games, I feel like it's not from this game, but they're doing a really, really amazing job. And the history of it, I'm just happy to have been able to wear this shirt and to have made some great memories there and some good friends as well.
And Carl Ikeme as well.
Yeah, of course.
No, I love you.
Carl is a legend. It's good.
You had obviously a little taste of what it was like under Nuno. Were you impressed at what you saw back then? And did you think back then that the team could really go places?
Yeah, definitely. The first few weeks that Nuno came in, I remember I was really impressed by his approach. His totally different approach that we've had at Wolves in the years before that. And the trainings were different, totally different. It was really technically based and tactical based as well. And I remember in the preseason we didn't run once So I was like, wow. And we were just good in training. We were really getting better and better day by day. And I wasn't surprised even when I left Wolves. I was like, I'm sure they're gonna go up this year. And they went up, and they're still moving up season after season. And hopefully this season will be even better than the season they had before.
We could talk about the 4-3 if you wanted to, but obviously Keames was in goal that day, so he might not want to talk about it.
That is a great day.
It wasn't his fault. It was the game that we won anyway. So at the end of the day, we just remember that we won, and it was a nice day and a nice game. I'm sure everybody enjoyed that game, even if Carl conceded 2 goals. We were a team. We all conceded these goals, and it was like one of the best games I've had in a Wolves shirt, for sure.
I was waiting for Carl Ikeme to respond then, but I don't.
Yeah, listen, it was a great. It was. I think, as Nua was saying, and I think as you remember, Mikey, we needed to win to stay in the mix. And when Dave Edwards scored the winner, I think if you remember the game, you see me trying to celebrate with the crowd and stuff. So it was a real memorable game, and we did have some good results against Leeds. When we both were playing, to be honest, I remember the 1-0 away as well. And we have had some decent results against Leeds, so hopefully it can continue tonight.
Well, it is prediction time. Nua, you get the honour of going first. Do you think we're going to see another 4-3 here tonight?
You know what? I go 2-1 for Wolves. 2-1 for Wolves. I go 2-1 for Wolves.
Tomo?
I'm going to Nua myself. I'm going to have 2-1 as well. I'm going to 2-1 Wolves.
Keames?
I don't know what to say. I don't know if to go for something exotic. 3-2 Wolves.
Yeah. You know what? I think you're going to be right. I think Carl's going to be right. But let's see.
Go on, Looms.
Same for me, 3-2 Wolves.
Okay, I am going to go for 1-0.
Ah, Mikey, come on, man. Every week.
Don't get ready. Wait for it.
Michael.
I've had enough, Mikey. You got
it. We do this prediction challenge every week, and so far, only one person has got 2 results right out of the 4. And that was me.
Okay, then. Okay. There's nothing else to say then.
Really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And best of luck out in
Thanks for having me. It was nice to chat with you guys, and all the best.
Great to see you, man. You look amazing.
Yeah,
take it easy,
Turkey, man. Turkey. Thanks, guys.
Take it easy, my brother.
Bye-bye. Joining us on Matchday Live Extra. More from Carl Ikeme and Chris Iwelumo to come, but don't go anywhere because the teams will be coming out shortly. This is Matchday Live Extra from Wolves TV, where hopefully there will be a Wolves win. Whether it's 1-0, whether it's 2-1, whether it's 3-2, nobody's really going to mind which score it is. Of course, if it's 1-0, I will never let the boys...
You'll never mention it again, would you?
I will never let them forget it. Don't go anywhere. Commentary's coming next.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe
Group. This season, the Old Gold Club and Wolves TV Matchday Live are powered by Blythe Group, an industry-leading construction company and family-run business since 1982, driving investment and infrastructure across the UK. Blythe Group's mission is to provide an unrivaled service based on innovative, bespoke building solutions and comprehensive customer support. If you're a skilled tradesperson and you want to join the team that powers our team, contact their bases in Wolverhampton, Manchester or Maidenhead via theblythegroup.co.uk. Blythe Group, big enough to deliver, small enough to care.
Wolves TV Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Blythe Group. Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group. Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Jimenez! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, oh, what a goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
Well, 2 successive 7th place finishes after promotion. Wolves have set the standard for teams like Leeds to aim for. The home side, after 16 years away from the top flight, have started strongly and very entertaining too. There have been 17 goals in their opening 4 matches. Ahead of the weekend's games, no side had conceded as many shots. Hope then for a Wolves side who went goal crazy in the international break. Jimenez, Neto, Vitinha and even Cody netting for their countries. It's been 912 days since the skipper scored for the Old Gold, so maybe don't quite expect Conor Cody to grab a winner here at Elland Road. Wolves keep faith with Romain Saiss in the left wing-back position. Max Kilman stays as part of a back three alongside Conor Cody and Willy Bolly. Rui Patricio in goal. Nelson Semedo on the right-hand side. João Moutinho comes into midfield alongside Leander Dendoncker with Pedro Neto, Raul Jimenez and Daniel Pedence up top. Pedence made his international bow for the senior Portugal squad over the break, and he'll be delighted amongst the many Portuguese in that Wolves starting lineup to see the debut of Wolves' new 3rd kit.
I was going to say, they forgot to take the kit off, didn't they?
Which has a very striking influence from the Portugal national team.
Yeah, it's a nice kit, isn't it? I'll be very surprised if you don't get one of them. Wear that. You look good in that, mate. You look good in that.
Thank you, mate. I look good in most things. Leeds with Illan Meslier in goal, Luke Ayling, Robin Koch, Stuart Dallas making up the back 4. We are told that Pascal Struijk is going to be playing in place of Liam Cooper at the back. Calvin Phillips, the holding midfielder. Former Wolves man Helder Costa, Matthias Klick, Rodrigo and Jack Harrison, all supporting Patrick Bamford, who has a healthy record against Wolves in his previous career. 3 in 5 against the Old Gold. Hopefully that stays at 3 in 6.
Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't it? He's a player that we were linked to numerous times as well, wasn't he? But like I say, it's just working out for him, just at Leeds at the moment. Hopefully he can't add to that tally. Fingers crossed. But again, so look, all the players coming back from international duty, looks like none of them injured, so which is a great thing. And you just touched on there about Conor Cody goal. Did you see his face and his celebration? Oh, it was a great finish as well, by the way. Outside of his foot, past the goalkeeper. So, yeah, he's on a high at the moment, I would expect.
Yeah, maybe they should be sending him forwards for set pieces.
But I was going to say, you're looking at the England thing, so like sending him forward for everything. He don't get past the halfway line for Wolves. That's it. Well, yeah, it was a great finish, and I was pleased for him. Played really well in the game. A bit unfortunate that he didn't get much of a game in the others, but he's done himself no harm at all.
Well, the job for he and his teammates is to take their international form into the Premier League. We are ready and waiting to go at Elland Road, as everyone will take a knee. The important message that there is no room for racism continues to be sent around the world. Underway, Wolves getting us started. Attacking the Don Revy Cop away to our left-hand side, and immediately an early run here for Jimenez, trying to deliver the ball into the danger zone. I think there was, no, it didn't look like it.
No,
It's going to be given as a goal kick. Thought there
Yeah.
might have been a bit of a deflection on it to save Jimenez. Leeds in all white. Wolves in what we would describe as Portugal red.
Yeah, for like a plum colour, isn't it?
Claret, maybe.
Claret,
Bordeaux.
Yes. Bordeaux. Wrong country, mate.
Yeah, not claret. Definitely shouldn't describe it as claret.
Yeah.
Bordeaux. Is that what we're going for?
Yeah.
Looking at our producer Yanni as if he should know these things.
Connoisseur of wine, is he, Yanni? No, he's shaking his head.
I think any kind of alcohol,
Is that what it is?
especially when he's got off producing us for a couple of hours.
Is that what it is? Lie down in a glass.
Desperate need, yeah.
Or is that what the sleeping bag's for?
Finished, by the way, Albion 0, Burnley 0 in the earlier kickoff tonight. Interesting situation for Wolves in that a win tonight jumps from 15th, potentially up to joint 4th.
So it's still fresh at the moment, isn't it, the league? So look, you're just looking at the results, and I think the weekend was pretty good for us as well. Quite a few draws.
Semedo will challenge near the halfway line. Always back to Bolly, who's just leaning back a touch, managed to scoop it over the halfway line, but at the expense of a throw.
It just shows you that first ball forward for Jimenez, the high line that Leeds play, where he's caught them on the back foot, where he's got behind. It's just a bit unfortunate that he couldn't get the ball across. But there's going to be opportunities. If you want to run beyond, so there's going to be opportunities, and we know that Jimenez will do that. And I think Pedence will as well.
Here's Ayling. That's the right side for Helder Costa. Looking to bring it over the halfway line. Wolves will know all about him.
No, he's absolutely magnificent, wasn't he, in that championship season. He's fortunate that he got injured. But look, he's done a good job here. He's got himself a starting lineup, so good to him, but hopefully not tonight.
Here's Robin Cott. Out to the right side to Ayling. Just 10 yards over the halfway line. Neto closing him down. Ball fed in behind by Click for Costa. The cross blocked off by Cody, but at the expense of a corner to Leeds.
Yeah, well, Sadok, fortunately, he's on this right-hand side with his weaker right foot, but just got put between his legs and just put him in. We know he's got pace. Just couldn't pick that pass out with his right foot. Good covering by Conor Cody, though.
First couple of minutes here at Elland Road. Leeds 0, Wolves 0. And an early chance to try and whip in for Calvin Phillips from the right-hand side. He had Costa coming short. Instead, we'll send him away. Wolves have everybody back defending the penalty area. Ball goes into the near post, headed away by Jimenez. Will be picked up on the right-hand side by Stuart Dallas, who tries to lift it back into the danger zone. An awkward back header. Drops towards Bamford, who strikes it left-footed, but always veering away from the right-hand post of Rui Patricio.
Yeah, so Conor Cody's puts pressure on him, hasn't he? He blocked the goal to make just nobody wants to put in the challenge there, did they? It's the faintest of headers. Yeah, so well off target for Bamford.
So Patrick Bamford does have a decent record against Wolves. He was always a player that Wolves kept trying to sign for a number of seasons. Kenny Jackett was very keen on him. Costa trying to get away from Saiz and away from Moutinho. Saiz got a foot in on him, but the referee didn't like it.
I thought he got the ball there, Saiz.
David Coote giving a free kick to Leeds, just midway inside the Wolves half to the right of centre.
Yeah, him raising a few of the Wolves players. I think that Saiz got a touch on that. Not going to see a replay, but...
And the free kick is taken quickly. Ayling to the byline in the penalty area, blocked off by Semedo. Quick thinking from him to get alive to it. Calvin Phillips putting it into the penalty area. Looping header comfortably taken by Patricio.
Yeah, you can see the sharp team and the confidence that Leeds have got. The games that they've played already, you can see that they can score goals. You can see that they're going to be a threat. Just got to be on our toes.
Cannot switch off for a second. No. Don't forget, as ever, at Mikey Burrows, at Wolves on social media if you want to get in touch and have your say. Use the hashtag Wolves Live. There's Ayling for Leeds, up towards halfway, looking to switch the play from right to left. Dallas forwards to Jack Harrison, looking to play the ball infield to Click. Semedo tracked Harrison all the way and ended up conceding a corner, just helped it out.
I think they're going to have to do quite a bit tonight. I think Harrison down that left-hand side for Leeds. You've got Costa out on this right-hand side for Leeds. So there's genuine pace and skill there in it. Just got to make sure he's switched on.
Again, Wolves have everybody back defending. Podence has been drawn out to block a potential short one. It'll be right-footed from the left-hand side. It's lifted to the edge of the box. Harrison tried to nod it into the danger zone and it's headed in and the offside flag is up.
He was miles off. It's a great line from Wolves there. It's a great line where they've just pushed up. You could see the back lads just pushing up. As soon as that ball went out, just watching the replay here. Oh, yeah, he's miles off.
Yeah, Patrick Bamford.
It's a great line.
Good yard and a half offside.
But that just, again, the organisation, the talking from Conor Cody, making sure they push up. And again, working on the training pitch.
6.5 minutes played at Elland Road. Leeds now, Wolves now. Haven't really seen anything of Wolves in an attacking sense so far. Haven't had an awful lot of the ball, in fairness. Meslier forwards. Semedo heading it back and out of play for a Leeds throw.
Now they're looking sharp, Leeds, aren't they? The Wolves just haven't settled into the game at the moment.
Big East stand on the far side with the banners covering the seats of the majority of the bottom tier, with the anthem of marching on together and side before self every time written across it. Semedo with a throw for Wolves. I don't think they've had a chance to upgrade the floodlights here at Elland Road just yet, so it's pretty dark over on the far side.
Yeah, I says to you, Alex, it's a great ground, and but it does need updating a little bit.
Cody forwards. Podence will give chase, and there's a little bit of spin on that ball, and it forced Robin Koch to track back and try and bring the ball clear. Leeds trying to move it quickly. Click over the halfway line, support coming from Ayling. Neto tracked him all the way, slid in, and with the second attempt tried to scoop it out, but Click has kept it in. Midway inside the Wolves half, down the line for Ayling, infield to Costa. Little 1-2 with Rodrigo. Costa trying to skip his way, and he's gone down in the penalty area, and the referee is wagging his finger.
Oh, he's close to it, wasn't he? Yeah, the trickery of Costa down this right-hand side again. Was it Matinho? Yeah, he hasn't touched him. No, I'm surprised he ain't going to get booked for that bit of simulation, because he hadn't even, no. Naughty.
There was contact, but it was probably more Matinho had just had his foot there and Costa kicked into him.
Yeah, but he's on his way down before he even got near him.
Click back for Ayling, looking to whip a cross in towards the near post, and it's Rodrigo's header over the top of the crossbar, and it's a tricky opening period this for Wolves.
Yeah, they've got the bit between the teeth, haven't they, Leeds? And we spoke about off air before the game about Costa. Will he be up for the game? Already we can see the problems that he's causing.
Yeah, Wolves just having to dig in a little bit in the opening period.
It's amazing, isn't it, if you're playing every week and the confidence that you can get from playing in a team that's just got promotion. Because it was a problem when he got injured. Struggled to come back.
Big ball forwards. Leeds have it again. Out to this right-hand side from Costa. Infield to Ayling. Big block challenge came in from Saiz. Finds Podence. Podence caught by Calvin Phillips, and Wolves get themselves a free kick 10 yards short of the halfway line, and Podence is down in a heap holding his face.
Yeah, I don't know how much he did catch him, but I don't think there's much in it now. Palm of his hand just come across his face a little bit.
Yeah, he's not going to need any treatment, Daniel Podence, but he's still down, writhing around a touch, and they will bring on the Doc Matt Perry and Ollie Leaper, the head first team physio, to go on and give him a bit of treatment.
The only thing I can think of is he pokes him in the eye or something. I don't know, but didn't look much of a contact, was there?
But it gives a moment for Wolves to maybe just have a bit of a breather. You can see Kilman, Cody, and Matinho, and now Saiss and Bolly joining the discussions here. Wolves maybe just trying to work out a way of preventing Leeds from pushing on down the Wolves' left-hand side, down the Leeds' right, because that's where it's all coming from at the minute.
Yeah, it is, yeah, but they've got to get hold of the ball. That's the thing. If they've got possession of the ball, Leeds can't come at them. So it's going to be imperative when we do get contact with the ball. He's got a bit of blood on his nose, yeah.
Sue from Willenhall says, sitting at home in my burgundy shirt, feeling nervous about this one. Want to win desperately to get confidence back, but not sure. Hope they prove me wrong, says Sue. Gary Smith was looking forward to this for many reasons. Last day in quarantine after flying in from Tabuk in Saudi Arabia. He's going to listen whilst having a beer. Let's hope the lads deliver tonight, says Gary. Rocking chair Dave, back to good health in South Wales, looking for a 2-0 win to Wolves, even though he's got Bamford in his fantasy team. Jared agrees with me, thinks Wolves will win 1-0, listening in from San Antonio, Texas. Pam says, evening boys, Auntie P on the Shifnal sofa, loving the port wine strip. Burgundy or port wine?
Yeah.
Says, tonight my globe-trotting nephew James is tuning in from Santorini. Jealous, not much, says Pam. And Mark's not very happy that Wolves aren't wearing old gold when Leeds are in white.
Yeah.
You're a traditionalist yourself?
Yeah, I'm a little bit. So look, if we can wear it, I think that we should. I know the reasons for it, but I'm not going to go into that. But like, yeah, so for me, so like, if you get the opportunity to wear gold and black, you should be wearing it.
It's a modern world, Tomo.
Pardon?
It's a modern world.
I know. And I'm willing to move with the times as well, Michael.
And if Wolves win, we won't care what they're wearing.
Exactly.
Back underway. Podence is okay. Leeds have possession again, though. Rodrigo going to switch the play, though. Sliced his pass and forced Dallas to go further back into his own half than he wanted to. Strike back to Melier, the goalkeeper. He's trying to scoop it wide for Ayling. Podence trying to close him down. Ball will go infield to Phillips. Saiss will intercept with the head, but it goes straight to Ayling. Flicked infield to Rodrigo, who tries to slide it in behind for Bamford to chase, and Cody there to try and tidy things up. Bolly trying to get Neto away. He's on the right-hand side at the time being.
Well, we're struggling to get hold of the ball at the moment, aren't we? I'll tell you what, the zipping the passing around Leeds.
Rowing Cock up to halfway. Looking high for Harrison. Headed ball infield. Now here's Calvin Phillips. High ball, trying to switch out to Ayling on the right-hand side. Level with the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Ran into Podence. And Wolves will get themselves a free kick. And for the second time in a matter of minutes, Podence has got a rather sore one. And David Coote is going to give a yellow card to Luke Ayling.
Well, he did really well, Podence, didn't he? Ayling just coming inside. He just stood on him, didn't he? Just stood on his ankle. That's why the referee's given the booking.
Seemed a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
Podence is okay. Making his way forwards. I wonder how much Wolves will look at this and kind of feel like Leeds have started with such a high tempo. There must be a period in the game where it will drop off for even only a short while. And that's when they've got to try and take advantage.
Yeah. But also as well, they're just finding the targets at the minute with the passing, aren't they? So like they're zipping it round, spreading the play, and they're finding the targets at the minute, Leeds. There'll come a time where things just won't go right for them, and that's when Wolves have got to jump on it.
Saiss with a throw. Jimenez just beaten to it, but Wolves get another throw, moving their way down the left-hand side. Not quite level with the edge of the Leeds penalty area. Saiz in towards the feet of Neto. Brings it out towards the left, turns to look back infield, now twisting wide again, trying to get away from Costa. Neto still running. It was Dallas who came across and slid in and got the ball clear. Bamford with a flick infield. Rodrigo to Click, and Click trying to set Bamford away down the right-hand side, and Leeds moving pretty sharpish. Bamford's ball just behind everybody. Rodrigo has it, waiting for support, gets it from Costa, who strikes it, but wide at the far post.
Yeah, so look, they're just finding everything at the minute, aren't they? Like the long-range passing, the ball's down into the corner. You can see the confidence that their side's got. We've seen it for many years with the Wolves side. So that confidence, I tell you what, gives you everything, and the belief that you can beat and play teams.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate, maybe, that it was on the weaker foot of Helder Costa.
Yeah.
The Wolves not really produced anything going the other way just yet. Neto trying to play it on for the run of Jimenez, just beaten to it. Ball goes back to Meslier. Or loose one though. Dendoncker couldn't find Pedence for the first time pass.
I thought for a second there he'd have a shot because the keeper was out on his penalty area. He wasn't in the goal. I thought he was just going to have a shot.
Pedence trying to get the better of Koch, but
at least they're putting pressure on them. At least they're putting a little bit of pressure on their back lads. And it's allowed them then to squeeze a little bit up on the pitch now. They can't let him out now.
Harrison's clearance. Bolly playing the ball in field to Matinho. Back to Willy Bolly. Now looking forwards. Jimenez to Dendoncker. Turning and finding Matinho just inside his own half. Backwards to Cody. And we've waited.
That's better.
A good 17 minutes for the first real spell of possession for Wolves. Saiz backwards to Kilman. Kilman under real pressure from Bamford. And to go backwards to Cody midway inside his own half. Cody with a straight one looking for Pedence, headed away by Strike.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too close, wasn't it, to the defender? But at least they're starting to come into it now a bit. Weathered the storm of Leeds. Just hopefully they can do a little bit better with it now.
Bolly under pressure, but managed to find Kilman. And Kilman with some space to run it over the halfway line. And he spotted the run of Pedence, but I don't think Pedence wanted it so far in front of him, and it went all the way through to Meslier.
No, so I think they crowded each other because you saw Neto coming from that right-hand side, coming inside, and you could hear him screaming for it. Unfortunate that he just held on to it a little bit too long.
Mateus Click for Leeds. Out to the right-hand side to Ayling. Looking for Costa, but Kilman will get there first, and he's forced wide out towards the corner flag. Played it off the Leeds man, and will get the throw for Wolves. Christina in Wisconsin's gone for a 2-1 Wolves win. Lucky scarf is on. Deb and her 16-year-old son listening in Montana. Thinks it'll be a 2-1 Wolves win. Matinho forwards. Neto couldn't quite get control on the chest on halfway. Bolly for Semedo. Blocked off by Dallas. They didn't really know where the ball was there. Dendoncker tried to get it forwards. Semedo for Bolly. Back to Semedo on halfway. Looking to go on a little bit of a dribble here. Nelson Semedo, but he ran into too many white shirts.
Yeah, so just lacking a little bit of an option there, I think. But at least they're starting to compete and put those challenges in a little bit more from Leeds. But they're still a threat.
Costa's ball down the line. Kilman will see it behind for a goal kick. Right down by the corner flag. Richard Wilding listening in from South Africa. Looking for a 2-1 win for Wolves tonight. Wolves have been very much under pressure in the opening period. The statistics say that they've had 37% of the ball. Leeds have had 4 shots, only 1 on target. Wolves haven't had a single shot just yet. And they've only been accurate with 61% of their passes as well, which is something that's got to really change. Moutinho for Jimenez. Last time we were in Yorkshire, Wolves had got off to a flying start on the opening weekend of this new season. Neto trying to back into strike. David Coote suggesting it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other as the ball went backwards for Leeds. Ayling, midway inside his own half. 5 in from the right-hand touchline. Rodrigo came short and then overhit the pass for Ayling. In front of Marcelo Bielsa, sat on his special seat in his technical area. Used to be a bucket. I think it's just a...
It's a bucket with a cushion on now, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got to mark it now with it.
I'll get you one of them. Look like a little gnome.
I just said so, I'll get you one.
Pascal Strike for Robin Koch. Over halfway to the right-hand side to Luke Ayling. Balls for Rodrigo. Foot in by Kilman. Ball goes back to halfway. Koch will try and switch the play out to Harrison on the left-hand touchline. Looking to drive forwards against Semedo up towards the corner of the penalty area. The ball went infield, comes back to Dallas. Now Click, back to Dallas again. Well tracked all the way by Bolly, who got a block on it. And we'll try and feed the ball down the line. And Wolves will have to settle for the throw.
But they're starting to get a bit more of a challenge into the Leeds players, unlike the first 5-10 minutes, where they could get near Leeds. At least they're starting to compete with them a little bit better. And hopefully they're trying to claw themselves back into the possession thing as well.
Bit of nonsense over on the far touchline between Ayling and Pedence by the looks of things.
Yeah, there's been a couple of challenges between the two already out there on this Wolves left.
Just shows you about the way Leeds play, though, that the right back in Ayling was right over on the left-hand touchline when Wolves were having a throw.
It just shows you about Wolves. Pedence been out on that right-hand side, but he's been out on the left. Funny enough, the majority of the first half so far.
Yeah, he is on the left now with Neto on the right. Here comes Koch over the halfway line to stand a high one to the left for Harrison. Semedo brought the ball down, plays it off Harrison. Ball rebounds in field. Semedo then is pulled back by Jack Harrison and gets Wolves the free kick.
Yeah, he did well there, didn't he, Semedo? The way he pulled the ball down. Just a lot of the lads going on international duty and coming back say it is difficult, especially with the window being open as well.
Say there was international debuts for Adama Traore and Daniel Pedence. Goals for Portugal under 21s for Neto and Vitinha. Of course, Connor Cody's exploits with England. Neves, Moutinho, Patricio, Semedo all got time for Portugal.
Yeah, it's because they've had 2 international breaks during this early start to the season. It does knock you off a little bit.
There's another one coming in a couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, so it's just surprising that these things are happening so quickly, isn't it? You can't really settle into the Premier League because all of a sudden you've got an international coming up.
Yeah, the congested nature of the way everything has been, of course, with the late start after the late finish to the previous season. Leander Dendoncker, of course, I should mention, got a bit of time for Belgium, though he was unused in the game against England at Wembley. Raul Jimenez scored 1 in his 2 appearances for Mexico. Romain Saiz featured for Morocco while he was away.
So if you look at that, you've got probably the main boys in your team away on international duty. Let's say it is difficult for managers, difficult time for them.
Well, pretty much those who were left ended up playing for the under-21s against Bradford in the Football League trophy. Kiana Hoover was amongst those involved in that game.
Well, I'm just looking at the team now. There can't be many of them at that starting 11 what were left, if any.
Leeds have a free kick out on the left-hand side, midway inside the Wolves half. Wolves trying to hold their defensive line on the edge of the penalty area. It'll be whipped in, right-footed, dangerous delivery. I think that was Connor Cody who got his head to it. And now Wolves can try and launch a bit of a counter-attack. Podence on down the line for Neto. And Jimenez is racing to try and get in there. Neto still driving on, back onto his left foot and then crowded out.
Oh, I would have liked him just to put that across with his right foot. Jimenez has just run 90 yards to help him. Just watching the replay out. He's just outside the edge of our penalty area and he sprinted.
Yeah, head down for a while of it.
Just put it in there with his right foot.
To be fair, Helder Costa did really well to track him all that way. Jimenez, I think, thought about trying to go to the near post and then realised he wouldn't. And by the time he jockeyed around Helder Costa,
but there's players running back towards their own goal at speed. Just put the ball into there. It could go anywhere. I know there's only Jimenez in there with 3 Leeds players, but just put the ball into an area where you think he can get there. Look, anything can happen. Unfortunately, just checked back and he ended up fouling the player, but it was a good break.
Here's Cock for Leeds. Up towards halfway. Infield to Struijk. Wide for Harrison. Midway inside the Wolves half. Neto trying to track him. Semedo's out there as well. And it's going to go behind for a goal kick. Harrison was trying to claim, I think, that it came off Semedo.
Yeah, he's done quite well against Harrison at the moment, isn't he, Semedo? You could say he's been an important player for them. Well, the 2 lads on the flanks have been important for them. But they have come into it. The Wolves have come into the game. That first 5-10 minutes, they were nowhere near Leeds. And as I touched on, Leeds were finding every pass that was going. Now, because they're challenging them a little bit, it's put a little bit more pressure on them. They started to get the ball back.
Wolves with a throw on halfway, just in front of halfway. Nelson Semedo with it. He's got Dendoncker in field. Jimenez down the line. Jimenez has come short, and he'll flick it forwards. Found Neto. Nothing to go backwards, though. Semedo being closed all the way. Semedo did well to find Matinho, who lifted it down the line. Neto's taken that superbly well. What a piece of control that was. Feeds it infield. Jimenez just couldn't quite take it in his stride. Bolly steps in to win it back in the Leeds half. Nice turn from him. Jimenez to Bolly. Wide again for Neto. Better build-up play this from Wolves. Neto trying to deliver one in, was blocked off. Matinho will slide in ahead of Bamford, and he'll get the throw as well. It's a much better spell.
Well, it is, and also as well, when they are losing the ball, they're winning it back pretty quickly at the minute.
I don't know whether you can hear on our effects microphone, but the Wolves subs sat down only about 20 rows in front of us, and you can probably make out John Ruddy shouting a few instructions down to Romain Saiz and others. In the meantime, Semedo with the throw. Podence is running short infield. Dendoncker's there as well. It goes to Jimenez, who back heels, trying to find Podence, who was offside.
Just a couple of times, though, so we talked about the Jimenez running that 90 yards, but we've had the ball in a couple of good areas, and we've ended up...
Well, Saiz thought he could win it ahead of Click. Didn't quite do so, but Matinho was there helping out. Ball back to Ayling on halfway. Infield to Calvin Phillips. Now Dallas to take it on. Wide for Harrison. Harrison to run at Semedo again. Forced backwards this time. Dallas tracked by Neto. Flicking the ball infield. Harrison, little back heel from Click. All thought they should have had a free kick there as Dendoncker went flying in. Nothing given. Ball back with Phillips. Trying to switch it towards Costa's header into the danger zone, but Kilman was there, and then Saiss able to play the ball out of play for a Leeds throw.
Yeah, good defending there. He's done well, Kilman. So look, already in this game.
Ayling trying to drift infield. Little pass to find Rodrigo. Ayling's cross from deep. Semedo got his head to it. Harrison will chase it out towards the Leeds left. Keeps the ball in. Has support from Dallas. Click on the edge of the box. Back wide again for Harrison. Will set himself for a left-footed cross into the danger zone. Kilman's header comes to Ayling, who drives it goalwards, blocked by Kilman. And away by Saiss. And Martinho trying to get Pedence away, won't find him.
Yeah, so just having a few minutes again out in the Leeds.
Here comes Harrison again down the left-hand side. Infield to Calvin Phillips. Across the centre circle for Koch. Looking to the right-hand side to Ayling. Costa's down the line. Rodrigo was calling short. It goes in towards Rodrigo and headed behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, so he just got away a little bit there, didn't he, from just watching the replay again. Ayling just putting the ball in. Yeah, he got away from Semedo. You're just watching it.
It's getting a replay of the previous one where Kilman did really well, actually. First the header and then secondly the block.
Yeah. It's important to get that flick, wasn't it, Kilman? He got the block on it. Portley was on target.
Patricio's kick downfield, flick on by Dendoncker. Neto couldn't quite steal it away from Cox. Semedo's got a good foot in though. Dendoncker on the halfway line. Back to Bolly. The press by Leeds. Pamford will chase down Patricio. Dendoncker's flick on. Strike got there ahead of Neto. Oh, come all the way back to Ilham Melier. Wolves have had to be patient. They've had to dig in at times. It's still 0-0 with 32 and a half minutes played. Click. Wide for Dallas, down the line for Harrison. Trying to face up against Semedo, who got enough on the cross to allow Bolly to then close in and head the ball clear. Calvin Phillips has plenty of time to collect it. Out to Ayling on the right-hand side. Further down the line for Costa. Costa infield to Rodrigo. We'll pass to find Phillips. Wide out to Ayling again. All intercepted by Saiss, who will find Kilman, who's calmly turned away from Rodrigo on the edge of his own penalty area.
He's got the belief in his skill, hasn't he?
Martinho winning it back. Jimenez now trying to set Pedence away down the left-hand side. Pedence up towards the edge of the penalty area. Infield to Martinho. Now for Dendoncker, looking towards the Wolves' right. He'll find Neto. Semedo has already run in field. Neto trying to go on the outside, still running into the penalty area. Cross takes the deflection and behind for a corner.
Yeah, that's better from him, isn't it? So look, he's had 2 or 3 times he's gone down that right-hand side. Neto, I think it's Dallas, just his upper body strength just easily him out of the way. Yeah, so better play from him.
The Wolves have a set-piece opportunity for the first time in the game. João Martinho will take it, right-footed from the right-hand side.
Just watching every Wolves players outside the penalty area.
Yeah, they're all going to run from deep. Bolly, Dendoncker, Kilman. Saiss is trying to hide behind Kilman here.
Is it a charge, is it?
Hanging on to him. It's like a rugby maul at the minute, the way he's there. Martinho to whip it into the near post. Jimenez got there and he got too much on it. High
free,
behind
wasn't
for
he?
a goal kick.
He was free.
Well, Leeds were all watching the other runners. Nobody was watching Jimenez. Maybe he could have done a little bit better.
Yeah. Like you say, he's caught it on the full, hasn't he? Just basically too much contact. Just needed to flick the ball.
Strike for Koch. Out to the right-hand side to Ayling. Back infield to Phillips. All over the top, looking for Bamford, but Cody will see it back to Patricio. He rolls it out short to Bolly. I'm not entirely sure really wanted it. And then Dendoncker is caught late. And the Wolves bench are very unhappy. Wolves get the free kick.
I think it was Phillips, wasn't it? Just turned, you could see him coming. He's just caught him on the standing leg, hasn't he, Phillips?
Yeah, just a knee into the back of the leg more than anything. What are you made of the way Wolves have gone about their business so far then, Tomo?
So I would like to see a few more players coming in. Oh, I just that was
long ball forwards that was, so we say, headed back to the goalkeeper by Robin Koch.
And he's out of his goal as well. So look, anything more on it, he was going over the keeper. Yeah, I'd like to see a couple more. So look, on say Jota going, I'd like to see another front lad, I think, another midfield. And say, look, we saw he's playing at left back, possibly. Maybe just strengthen a little bit more on that.
There's Harrison down the left-hand side.
Semedo looks good. Semedo looks a good player.
Dangerous ball whipped in, and again it's Kilman with a good header away. Danger not fully gone. Ayling look to play it in short to Matthias Klick. Finding Ayling. Teed up for Phillips. And to cross it to the far side. Harrison across, and it was just behind Bamford, thankfully.
Well, was it Conor Cody? No.
It's been given as a goal kick.
Well, I'm surprised.
We'll see on the replay, because Leeds seem to think that Conor Cody got there.
He's not offside, I'm looking. Oh,
I think Conor Cody does clear that, you know.
I think he's got a touch on it, but I think Bamford's got the final one. Yeah, it's Bamford with his final touch there. I think he's just got...
Tomo. I think that's Conor Cody's good clearance, but he's not going to own up to it.
No.
Gareth Southgate is here watching tonight. He can't be that far away from us in the white seats. Cock over the top of Pedence. Martinho closed down, but admitted that ball had hit his hand. And I guess there's no real point in trying to get away with it with VAR these days.
No.
But he played somebody in. Though in theory, if there was another pass, then he would have been all right. The way these laws work at the moment.
No, so I'm not waiting for the theories to get involved in it as such.
Cox ball forwards. Rodrigo on the turn. Out to Harrison on the left-hand side. Dallas has made a run on the underlap. Gets to the byline. Low cross turned away by Bolly. The Wolves very much under the cosh for large periods of this first half. 38 minutes played. Leeds 0, Wolves 0.
Yeah, just at the minute, we've got players in the right places at the right time at the minute.
Harrison from the throw. Wide again for Dallas. He's managed to squeeze it through the eye of a needle to Klick. Back to Dallas. I think it was Harrison, and Harrison trying to get a cross in, and the ball's deflected behind for another Leeds corner off Semedo. And Leeds possession stats are creeping up again.
Yeah, they've started to come into the game a little bit more again, haven't they?
Wolves trying to stand firm with everybody back defending the penalty area. Ball whipped in low towards the edge of the box, and it's struck by Harrison, and I think it was Dendoncker that got the block on it as it goes behind for another corner. Now that's twice now.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's twice. The first one was that header to Bamford, wasn't it? Where he was ruled offside. That's twice they've curled it to the edge of the penalty area.
This one will be whipped into the danger zone. Bolly. It comes all the way through to Rodrigo, who strikes it straight at the waiting Rui Patricio. Perhaps a little bit of a let-off there.
I think it was. So look, he's caught it well, and it's straight at Patricio.
The throw out to Saiz. There was a block on it, and quite a few of the Leeds representatives in the director's box were on their feet applauding. Throwing forwards. Martinho trying to nod it on here for Neto. Oh, he just needed a bit of a heavier touch to take it past Ayling, and Ayling on a yellow card wouldn't have been able to touch him. Just couldn't quite get away from him, and Leeds have the ball back again. Phillips, back for Struijk. Now for Koch. Over the halfway line for Koch. Ayling. Costa on the right-hand touchline. Neto tracking him. Costa infield. To Calvin Phillips. Now for Struijk. Wide for Dallas. Down the line for Harrison. Back to Dallas. Infield for Calvin Phillips. Looking to lift it back out down the left-hand side. He's got plenty of players moving around. Click for Calvin Phillips. Trying to lift it to the far side, headed away again by Max Kilman. Ayling, right-hand touchline, level with the edge of the penalty area. Gets support from Pascal Struijk, a couple of yards out of the centre circle. Looking to play it out to the wide left again. Harrison, low cross in, Bolly turns it away. But ends for Semedo. Trying to be a bit too clever, perhaps, but Semedo got a second chance to clear and got it to the halfway line.
Well, I don't think that Nuno was too happy with that there, giving the ball away a little bit too cheaply for me. Worked really hard to win it back, and twice to give it back to Leeds.
There's Costa again down the right-hand side, looking to run at Saiz, trying to force his way through. Support from Click. Ayling will stand across, that goes behind for a goal kick.
Oh, you're just watching there. Director's box are all clapping everything that Leeds do, but so Wolves defended pretty well. So, but for me, as I said before, you've just got to try and get a little bit more possession of the ball, because you can't just keep inviting teams on.
Said before that Leeds' possession stats are creeping up, and it's now 70-30 in the home team's favour with 2.5 minutes of the first 45 to go. You can let us know what you're thinking right now. Jared says Kilman's looking good, proud of him. Christina says Tomo is always right, just accept it.
There is no chance of that, you doing that.
Dave Wright says we seem tight and sluggish, which is not a good combination. Kilman tried an outrageous first-time ball that didn't quite bend as much as he wanted it to.
Yeah, it was the
through to the keeper.
Right thing to do, just the execution of it, wasn't it? Just didn't get his right foot round it enough.
You can hear the breeze has picked up on this Yorkshire evening. There's a chill in the air. It looks like a bit of maybe fine rain swirling in as well. All add to the conditions. Harrison looking to run at Semedo. Nuno down in front of us is fuming at something. But Ents helps out and Wolves come away with the ball. And Semedo managing to turn away from Jack Harrison. Actually really good work, and his ball infield to Matinho. Matinho battling away with Costa. Matinho just about got it to Saiz, who tries to set Neto away. Neto down the left-hand side. We'll have to keep it in and turn and look for some support. Saiz ran past him. Ball goes to Matinho. Matinho caught by Matthias Klick.
Oh, I just think that's experience there, didn't it? He knew it was coming. He knew the challenge was coming. Leeds had cut off him. Bamford cut off the back pass.
Last minute of the 45. Fourth official is ready with the board. And Wolves are going to send Kilman and Bolly and Saiz forwards. Dendoncker and Jimenez.
Oh, look at this. Look, he's been on the end of everything, Kilman, in our penalty area. Can he get on the end of the free kick and get it in the goal?
Matinho is going to leave it for Neto, the left footer. A couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline. It's not even midway inside the Leeds half. Leeds defensive line is a long way outside their penalty area. Neto, though, will look to deliver the ball. The goalkeeper comes and punches and wins his team a free kick.
I don't think so on that one. He's come a long way, the keeper. and he's come through bodies as well. No, they're not going to show the replay. I thought I'd see the replay of it.
Yeah, it didn't look like a free kick, did it? Really?
No. He's come a long way through a lot of bodies. So, and then for him to have a free kick given against, well, the Wolves team.
Costa running down the right-hand side. 2 minutes is being added on. Kilman slid in. It will be a Leeds ball, though, and an opportunity for a set piece for Leeds that they're looking to try and take quickly, but Costa will leave it for Calvin Phillips. There's only Pedence, who was a long way away from it, that spotted the potential quick one. Phillips, right-footed from the right-hand side. High one towards the far post, goes all the way through. Costa couldn't quite control it, forced to track it out to the left-hand touchline. Support from Harrison. Was to strike. And under pressure from Martinho, goes all the way back to Meslier, out of his penalty area. Phillips' clearance. Semedo's header. Martinho trying to win it back. Semedo finding Bolly. Then Donker back to Cody. Under pressure from Bamford. It's a nice flick by Pedence, actually, and it finds Neto, and Neto setting it on, and Dendoncker has made a brilliant run into the penalty area. Leander Dendoncker trying to lift across. It comes all the way through to Saiz. Back for Pedence to strike it. Oh, what a good save.
Oh, that's the best attack they've had. Oh.
Super play, actually. Neto on. Brilliant lung-busting run by Dendoncker. And it's the final action of the first half. Saiz does really well here to pull it back to Pedence, who strikes it, and Meslier was in the right place, actually. I think Pedence was expecting him to have moved back across his goal, and in the end he hadn't, because he had a defender to his left-hand side, so he was perfectly on the right-hand side of the goal, and it ended up being straight at him.
Yeah, that was the only thing, wasn't it? It was straight at him, just needed to be the side of him to cause him any concerns or problems, but good play. I'll tell you what pace Dendoncker showed there running through. So look, he was got it to the back post, so he's pulled it back. Good touch, first touch from Pedence, but again, so look, it's keeper was able just to get his hands on it, or enough of his hands on it.
Well, it took 46 and a half minutes for Wolves to have an effort on goal. Arguably, it should be in front.
Yeah, well, I would say that's probably I know apart from Bamford's goal, what was offside, that was probably the best opportunity for a goal there. So good build-up play. But again, at least that's a little bit encouraging to finish the half off with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure Nuno will be happy.
No, well, there's been numerous times when we've watched him down there and he's having a bit of a rant. His arms are swinging around. He wasn't happy. He can't be happy with that, with the way that they've give away possession. Look, they've had a couple of spells where they have put a little bit of pressure on Leeds, but he'll want a lot more than that. He'll want a lot more pressure put on Leeds than they have done in that first half.
More from Annie Thompson to come. We'll hear from Chris Iwelumo and Carl Ikeme as well here on Wolves TV Matchday Live Extra. Don't go anywhere. Our half-time reaction is coming next.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
This season, the Old Goal Club and Wolves TV Matchday Live are powered by Blythe Group, an industry-leading construction company and family-run business since 1982, driving investment and infrastructure across the UK. Blythe Group's mission is to provide an unrivaled service based on innovative, bespoke building solutions and comprehensive customer support. If you're a skilled tradesperson and you want to join the team that powers our team, contact their bases in Wolverhampton, Manchester or Maidenhead via theblythegroup.co.uk. Blythe Group, big enough to deliver, small enough to care.
Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
So half-time here at Elland Road. It is Leeds 0, Wolves 0, but should it be? What do you make of the first 45 minutes? Chris Iwelumo and Carl Ikeme rejoining me here. Looms, I'll come to you first.
Well, it's been a hard one to watch, hasn't it? Leeds have been very impressive. I think we've kind of weathered the storm. You know, I think we're getting stretched a little bit, but again, it's the small margins in football. We've had the best chance of the game so far, and I've got to say, Pedent's done everything right. And what a save that is, by the way. Complete reaction save. Dendoncker, you know, it's one of them. The way that Leeds play, I think they've been excellent playing out from the back, and we've been playing like a kind of an okay press as well. We've been hard to kind of play through, but they take the gamble. They play that hard pass, and they've had the quality to execute it as well. We have nicked it on a couple of occasions, and I just feel that we haven't really capitalised on that. You look at Pedro Neto on a couple of occasions. I think he's ran and he's got the better of Stuart Dallas, and then that quality, that final pass, that final decision has probably let us down. But Dendoncker breaking through that energy, and it's something that he's not done too often in this half. I'm expecting more from him in that situation. So I feel that the chance. It just shows you the small margins of football, Mikey. We could be 1-0 up, weathering the storm. Is it 32% possession we've got at the minute? We've had one shot on target, like you say, 46 minutes in. That's not what we're used to. So we just have to make sure that the second half we come out. We know that what Leeds are going to do. They're going to come out the exact same way, get in your faces, that high intensity in their play, but they are vulnerable. You know. We do have the quality and the pace in the team that we can hurt them in that at the back end.
You mentioned the stats. Let me just run you through some of them. 68-32 in terms of possession in favour of Leeds. 9 shots to Wolves, 2 of which only 1 has been on target. 5 corners to 1 as well. And Wolves' pass success rate is still only down at 66%, Tomo, which I mentioned this earlier on, and I know that I get bogged down in stats sometimes, but in a game where you're not having the ball very much, you have to make sure you keep it well on those small periods that you do, and then you're able to do something with it.
Yeah, they've got to use it a lot better, haven't they? So like we've just said there in that first half, they can't afford to keep giving the ball away. They've had opportunities to keep possession of the ball, and they've done really well to win it back. But then to give it straight back to Leeds, so like especially outside the penalty area where we saw it, and we saw the reaction of Nuno, he's absolutely going mad at it. So look, you've got to do better with the ball. You can't just keep inviting pressure on. You can't just let teams keep building momentum, getting the ball coming out here, because sooner or later, something's going to happen. A deflection, a shot on the edge of the box. You've seen the 2 corners that we've had. We've got away with it a little bit, I think. So look, okay, good defending from the Wolves back line to get Bamford offside, but you've got to do a lot better. So look, they've got the players out there to hurt them, but we've got to use it a lot better than we have done in that first half for me.
Tom, Leeds are pressing very well without the ball, but we've still got to be brave enough. Completely agree with what you're saying there, to actually, you know, if you can just bounce it in there to Moutinho, or you can just bounce it in there to Neto, because no matter how a team presses, even if it's the best press, you can still play through it if you're brave enough to get on the ball. Now, they're doing it to us. We've got a very good compact line, and they're still finding those little pockets because it's a very tight pass, but they're playing it. We've got to have that same quality when we've got the ball, and we usually do. You know, and I just feel because it's such a high intensity that we're on the back foot, we're getting stretched, and all of a sudden when we get it, it's like it's still 100 miles an hour. But the quality we've got to know when to slow it down. We've got players that are graceful in the ball, that are very good with the technical players. That's the players that, like Moutinho, he plays at his own pace. And I just feel at the minute, he's not getting on the ball as much as we can. Connor Cody's seen a lot of the ball, but again, because the way that they're compact and they're pressing, it's quite hard for him to play those big diagonal balls that he usually plays. So we've got to have another option in there. So if it's Moutinho just kind of moving out the way can we find Pedent in those little pockets, Neto in those little pockets, and like Dendoncker, we need players that can get on the ball and drive. You know, if a player can get a ball to feet 1-on-1, and even if it's in the middle of the park, Mikey, and he takes them on and he's driving, that commits others players. As soon as he commits a player, it creates space for others. It's a simple game, but like at the minute, it's more attack against defence. That's what it looks like at the minute. It's like defend, defend, defend. But in saying that, we've had the best chance. And Puden struck it ever so well. And we have to talk about that save, by the way. What a save that was.
Yeah, so it's being in the right place at the right time, was it? But you're just touching on a few points there that every ball that's gone up to Jimenez has been a battle. He's been fighting against as well. And that's where they've got to try and get off the defender and just get that little bit more of a control on the ball. Because as I said, Kilman's done brilliant at the back. He's been composed.
Excellent.
Connor Cody, Bolly has as well. But they need some outlet. They need somebody. If they're pressing Leeds, they need somebody that can get the ball into midfield. And so Moutinho's got loads of experience in front of him, but we just need some help just to get a little bit of momentum, just to build up a little bit.
On that basis, though, is there an idea maybe for the second half? And this will probably come kind of past the hour mark, I guess, whereby, Leeds do press pretty high, where maybe you look towards Adama Traore from the bench because he can carry the ball. And if he beats the first man, then he's away. And maybe if Leeds are going to press high, because it is one ball that gets you out of it, isn't it? He's your man that can get onto the end of it.
Mikey, the game's crying out for him. The game is crying out for him because he always wants the ball. I think he's got that. He can basically, when Adama Traore comes on, he takes away 2 or 3 of their players to try and just kind of contain him. And the game is crying out for him because he's a player that he's very direct. He floats all over the pitch, which is hard to mark anyway. When he does get it, he likes getting in tight areas. His control with the ball can be excellent. And obviously the pace that he's got, you know what I mean? He will cause all sorts of problems. And I wouldn't be surprised if that change was made straight on the 45 with no Nuno, because he knows, he's watching the game. He knows exactly what the game's. You're looking out there at the pitch. Is he getting put through his paces or not?
Nobody is, no, which is kind of unusual, really. None of the Wolves subs. There might be a couple coming out now. You can see Fabio Silva and I think Kiana Hoover, but no, there's no Traore out there at the minute. You mentioned defensively, by the way. I mean, do we have to give some credit to Wolves? Because the first 15 minutes was a little tricky. After that, it kind of felt like they were defending anything that came towards them. Kilman looking like he's having a really good game. Again, very impressed. Just his positioning has been excellent. I think the little one in the box where he just kind of took it back and then just played out. Excellent. I'm really, really impressed. And like you say, the first 15 minutes, you know what you're going to get with these. They're going to be 100 miles an hour. There's going to be quality balls coming in. You have to defend. It's part and parcel of the game. But then we had a little moment that we were kind of stealing the ball in the middle third. And they had quite a few players out of position. And that's when you want to capitalise. But like Tom was already alluded to, that quality wasn't there. But I think we've defended well. They've had that little opportunity that came from I think it Rodrigo, wasn't it? That's had a shot straight at Patricio. Again, it's worked well. That's pure defending in me. There was 2 players round the back there not marked at all because, like you say, we were all focused at the front. The man at the edge wasn't marked. He then goes round to the back. That can't happen. It cannot happen. It should be man for man. But again, I think we've been looking solid at the back. So
then that left-hand side for Leeds, I think he's done really well against, because on their flanks they're a threat. You've got Costa down this right-hand side. Yeah. After the initial 10 minutes, I think that we've dealt with him pretty well because he was very lively. Harrison down there, left-hand side as well. I thought Semedo's done really well with him. He's defended well against him, getting the blocks on. He's been able to win the ball back. But just touching on a point there, we've had a couple of times when we've got into the penalty area and we've got one player in the penalty area, apart from that last chance that Pedence had, where we had 2 or 3 in there. And I think you've just got to have a gamble. You've got to try and get bodies into that penalty area so we can try and pick somebody out. I know it's a big effort, but you've got to do it. You've got to try and get somebody in there, apart from Jimenez as well, to back him up.
Yeah, he's a little bit isolated, isn't he? So when we do get into that attacking third, that's when you need the energy, the pace in the team. Even if it's Semedo that's underlapping and trying to get in the box, Dendoncker trying to kind of get as close as he can to it, and Saiss, when he sees that opportunity, can he break if it's coming from Neto? I just feel that, like you say, it's one body in there. Yeah. There's only one pass on. There's only one option on. It needs to be more than that, Tomo, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So, because I've seen it. I said earlier on, We've seen Neto running down that right-hand side, and we've got Jimenez in the penalty. They've got 3 or 4 defenders in there. It's hard to pick anybody out if they're set up correctly. He just needs some bodies in there. And the first chance that we've really had, or best opportunity, is when Pedence got in there, Jimenez has gone in there, Dendonker's in there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it unsettles the defenders. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to try and get them moving, unsettle them, and then the opportunity going. Great first touch from Pedence, but a good save from the keeper.
I can update you that Adama Traore has now joined the subs to have a kickabout at half-time. So he is not imminent, but the Leeds team Wolves should be joining us very shortly as well. And so we'll be back underway for the second half. But thank you very much, Chris Iwelumo. More from you at full time. Hopefully we'll get Carl Ikeme on as well. I know he's having some issues with his connection so far. But hopefully Wolves' connection will work in this second period and we'll see some goals. Don't go anywhere. Second half is coming next.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blight Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blight Group. Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Jimenez! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
Jota on the volley, oh, what a goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blight Group.
So about to get back underway very shortly for the second half. I don't think referee David Coote is very happy with the fitness routine that the Wolves players have just been going through, looking at his watch and pointing and suggesting that they should be ready to start because Leeds are. And there you go, we are back underway for the second 45 minutes here at Elland Road. Wolves playing from left to right as we look at it second half. The Wolves supporters, had they been here, would have been away to our right-hand side in the John Charles stand where we are. John Revie stand away to the left-hand side. The Big East stand on the far side. The TV gantry is just above us. And Wolves, hopefully, have a little bit more of the ball second half, and then they can go from there. That's very much first and foremost. Get a grip of the game, get a foothold, and then see if they can cause Leeds some problems.
Well, Traore's going out to warm up straight away, hasn't he? Well, there's a few of the Wolves players gone out there.
Marcel, one of those.
Yeah. I think Nuno's just said something to one of the coaches, just to make sure that somebody's warmed up, I think.
So no changes from either side at the break. Martinho's chasing one down the left-hand side for Wolves here, but it will be a Leeds throw. So it's Patricio in goal, Bolly, Cody and Kilman, Semedo and Saiz, the wing-backs, Dendonker and Martinho in midfield, Neto, Jimenez and Pedence up top. And we should say, actually, Tomo, that Neto has been very much actually one of the front three, which has not always been the case this season. His role has been a little bit deeper at times, but it's been much more like old-fashioned Wolves, if that's something we can say.
Well, the thing is, though, you want to see him in a more advanced position. I could say he's a threat. He's got genuine pace, as we spoke about before. He's built himself up a little bit stronger as well, so he's going to be a threat. So he's got an eye for a goal as well. So it'd be a shame not to be in more advanced areas. I know he works for the team and works really hard for it.
Rodrigo being challenged by Neto. Phillips wide for Dallas. Over the halfway line he comes. Wide for Jack Harrison. Neto putting good pressure on Dallas, who just about kept it in.
Oh.
Dendoncker then caught Calvin Phillips late on the halfway line.
Well, Dendonker's waving his finger saying that he didn't touch him. The referee's coming over and he's just having a word with him.
Ilan Mellier is the Leeds goalkeeper. Luke Ayling, Robin Koch, Pascal Stoik and Stuart Dallas the back four. Calvin Phillips holding in midfield with Matthias Klick and Rodrigo. And then Harrison and Costa, the wide players. And Harrison getting a free kick off Semedo.
He's done well against him, Semedo, because he is a threat. He's getting close into him.
Patrick Bamford is the lone man up top. Has had the ball in the net already tonight, but was a good couple of yards offside. Calvin Phillips with this free kick. Right-footed, couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline. No more than 30 yards from goal or so. It's a dangerous whipping one, and Patricio watched it all the way and came and claimed.
Yeah, again, good goalkeeping. Good goalkeeping when it's there to come and get and collect.
A giant pillar in the way of my view of that goal. Old-fashioned stadium. Throw in for Leeds on halfway. Dallas to Rodrigo, to Phillips, back to Dallas. We'll look to switch the play for Ayling. We'll let it go through to find Helder Costa. Costa on for Ayling, who's continued his run and stands an inviting cross in there, but Patricio claims it at the near post.
Yeah, that's the ball that Leeds have got out there to get themselves out of trouble, that switcher play. He's done it a number of times in that first half.
Patricio's kick goes straight out of play, though.
Yeah.
All eyes for the TV audience on Adama Traore. Warming up down in front of us.
Yeah, he's having some instructions shouted to him. Getting warmed up.
There's Harrison. Semedo tracking back. Cody. Near to his penalty area. Back to Patricio. Left-hand side of the 6-yard box. Puts his foot through it. Phillips forwards. Semedo will let it go out of play for a Wolves throw. Use the hashtag Wolves Live if you want to get in touch with us. Rob in snowy and -4 degrees Calgary says we look like a team without too many creative ideas. Still a work in progress, but hoping we can grind something out. There's Koch. Wide for Costa to run it down the Leeds right. Saiz tried to close him down. Matinho intercepts. Infield to Dendoncker. Back to Matinho. Lifted early for Jimenez. Clever flick for Podence. And suddenly Wolves have the numbers forwards, one of which is Saiz on the left-hand side. Saiz putting a low ball in. Blocked away by Koch. Jimenez has it though. Jimenez with a back heel. And Saiz couldn't get there ahead of Helder Costa, who read the danger and got back in front of him and clears only as far as Matinho.
Yeah, it's a bit better from him, though, isn't it? I thought he was going to have a shot. Jimenez there, just paused a little bit.
Neto, Semedo, trying to hold off Jack Harrison. Gets a free kick. There's a little push on him. That was what we wanted to see from Raul Jimenez.
Yeah.
Chris Iwelumo was talking about it at half-time, and that little touch off, and suddenly Podence is away, and suddenly it's 3-on-3 or 3-on-2, and that's where the pressure will come.
It is. That's what they've got to do a lot better. And so you've seen there a glimpse of it. And the frustrating part is we know that they can do it. We know that we've got the players to do that kind of thing. And you saw an example of it there where he's just got the little faintest touch to flick it into Podence, his path, and he was away.
Jean Matinho, right-footed. Bolly, Kilman, Saiz, Jimenez amongst the targets. Was headed away by Stoik. Cody. Oh, he just about got the better of Helder Costa. And now he'll look to switch a wonderful ball out to Daniel Podence. Podence looking to run at his man. Checking back onto his left foot, back onto his right, to the byline. Lifts his cross into the danger zone. Comes through to Saiz, who tees it up. Oh, what a goal! Romain Saiz has just hit a beauty into the bottom corner.
What a strike.
That is absolutely stunning. From the magic Moroccan. Playing in a rather unusual position, but he's got the breakthrough. Although There might be a suspicion of offside on Daniel Podence here.
No, so look, I think that
No.
Ayling. I think Ayling's playing him on side.
No, I don't think he is, Tomo. I think that's wishful thinking. Daniel Podence is going to be ruled offside here.
Oh,
And Romain Saiz.
I'll just watch it, looking at it, yeah.
Romain Saiz, this is going to be heartbreak for him.
Yeah.
Because he's hit an absolute beauty. And the referee is just being made aware of the VAR check. Podence did all the work down the right-hand side, twisting and turning.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm going to agree with you here. I think that it's going to be reeled off. What a strike! What a shame, because I think he's going to get reeled offside.
I mean, the argument will be that Podence's cross was kind of headed by a Leeds head to Saiz, but we are going to get an overrule, I think. Yeah. There's the VAR signal. Offside given against Daniel Podence by 20, 30 centimetres. Not a lot.
But again, if you've got to put lines on the pitch, it's not clear, is it? And look, I know it's offside, but...
Well,
that's a shame.
Both sides have had the ball in the back of the net. Leeds offside was a lot more clear than the Wolves one.
It's a great strike, wasn't it? It's a great strike. Well, hopefully that'll give him a little bit more confidence now.
A lovely jinking run by Neto. Semedo just couldn't get away from strike, but suddenly feels like the momentum of the game has turned.
Yeah. Well, you're hoping now that that's given him a little bit more confidence going forward. What we said about getting people in the box, and Saiz, what a strike.
Semedo's throw. Neto forced wide. We'll get another throw here. Wolves in pretty much an identical position. A couple of yards short of being level with the edge of the Leeds penalty area. Semedo ball in hand. Dendoncker amongst those coming short. It goes down the line for Neto. And a foul throw is given against Nelson Semedo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know that you don't like it when they draw the lines,
no.
But if that was against us.
Yeah, I just think that if they've got to draw a line to find an offside.
I don't have a problem with that, because it wasn't as marginal as some of them that we've seen. My issue with it is that Podence has taken the ball on, beats his man, puts a cross in that comes off a Leeds head, and then comes to Saiz. It's almost like, how far back are you going to take it to then find an offside and find a reason to rule out the goal?
Yeah, I'll just bite my lip, mate, I think.
Podence forwards, gets it back from Dendoncker, up towards the edge of the penalty area. Podence striking, and it's drawn a super save by Meslier, flying to his right-hand side to tip it behind for a corner. And this is much, much better for Wolves.
It is. And you can see a little bit of a spring in the step. It's Leeds now on the back foot. He's just hoping now they can convert this pressure, what they're putting on Leeds. Again, another good save from the keeper. But just keep the pressure on them. Just keep pushing them back.
Pedro Neto with the corner, left-footed from the left-hand side. Again, Wolves trying to hold as high as they can, only just inside the penalty area. Big old group of players that involves Kilman, Bolly, Saiz, Jimenez and Dendoncker.
Well, you've got 5 of them there who are over 6 foot, so it's going to be all about the delivery, isn't it?
Neto whipping in. Jimenez tried to get a touch to it. Ayling then takes a tumble in the penalty area, and it's given us a goal kick anyway.
Yeah, it come off Jimenez, didn't it? He tried to just flick it around the corner. I think he's just caught him on the full, I think.
Leeds trying to get on with things quickly. It's cleared out to Ayling. Up towards the halfway line, trying to stand the ball cross field. Semedo's misread it. It's gone over the top of him. Harrison races and just keeps it in on the left-hand side. Ball whipped in high towards the far post and came off the head of Helder Costa, but taken easily by Patricio, who throws out quickly to try and get Saiz away. The game's got very open. Saiz forwards to Neto. Neto looking to run at his man, and he goes past on the outside, and it's a dangerous ball into the penalty area. That Strike got there just ahead of Jimenez, and Leeds managed to get bodies back.
Yeah, so he's unlucky there. He just trying to find Jimenez at the back post, wasn't he? But it's starting to become a bit of a more open game now.
Well, he talked to the boys before the game. Carl Ikeme mentioned about not allowing it to becoming like a basketball match. It's turning into it. Harrison, Kilman did just about enough to get his body in the way,
but he's in the right place. He's in the right place again, isn't he? That's the thing. He's in the right place. Wasn't the best of clearances from him, but he was all about the positioning of it.
58 minutes played. Still Leeds 0, Wolves 0. Wolves thought that they were in front through Romain Saïs's strike. Kilman to find Dendoncker. Pedence. Little short ball back to Dendoncker. Wasn't quite on target enough, but Wolves intercept, and Pedence now early up to Raul Jimenez. And Jimenez, not a lot of support at the minute. Trying to turn back in field, get some from Pedence. Pedence. Oh, that's a lovely reverse ball. Jimenez into the penalty area, back onto his left foot. Still Jimenez going, takes a tumble overstretched. Leeds get it clear.
Yeah, he just got credited out, didn't he? You could see he was just trying to make that yard just to get the strike away, but great ball from Pedence to pick him out.
That's the creativity that Wolves have been calling for. This has been a much better spell in the last 10 minutes or so. Semedo blocked off by Harrison, who spent most of the first half running the other way at Nelson Semedo. All of a sudden, he's back almost as a makeshift left back, left wing back. Still Adama Traore warms up. Just watching Fabio Silva taking his seat. Wolves bench, by the way. Ruddy, Hoover, Marçal, Neves, Silva, Traore, and Owen Otazawi tonight. Here's Bolly to Jimenez. First time touch to Neto. Couldn't get away from Dallas. Throw in Wolves, though. Different game last 10, 15 minutes.
Well, it is. Well, Wolves are the team who's starting to zip it around now, aren't they?
Jimenez from the throw. Wide for Neto. Trying to twist his man. Leeds had two players back there with him. Managed to find Mateus Click. Infield to Ayling. Pretty much plays where he wants. Calvin Phillips. The long ball. Tracked all the way by Saiz. Kilman back to Patricio, who clears. I know another man who played where he wanted in his career.
Who's that?
Sir Andrew Thompson. There's Matinho for Wolves. Looking for Semedo. Matinho was caught really late there. And Calvin Phillips is going to find his way into the referee's notebook. He caught Dendoncker with a sore one in the first half. And David Koo has had enough.
Yeah, they just passed the ball and he's just still coming, isn't he? Yeah, so he's just stepped on his ankle.
Matinho was desperate for somebody on that right-hand side to show for the ball.
Well, I think he was looking at Neto, who peeled away, was looking to go forward. He seems to be in a little bit of pain from the challenge.
Yeah, saw one.
Yeah, I think he's just stepped on his inside of his foot by the look of it, or his ankle.
No sign of Ruben Neves warming up just yet. He's still sat in the stand down in front of us. Adama Traore looks to be putting on some tape around his wrists, so Chris Iwelumo might be getting his wish fairly soon.
Well, was it 61 minutes gone? You'd think that he's going to get a little bit of a spell in this second half. Yeah, he's taking his bib off and tracksuit top.
Question will be, who does Traore come on for?
Well, Pedence has started to be a little bit more lively, hasn't he? Change of formation, maybe. But I think that it's worked pretty well.
Cody's long ball forwards. Semedo He's come through with the ball here, cutting infield, trying to play a little one in behind for Saiss. He asked an awful lot of him. And Meslier got out there to slide to the right-hand side of his penalty area.
It was a shame that, because it's a good spot from him. Saiss just coming from that side.
Suddenly Leeds on the counter. Click infield. It was Kilman tracking back, who got there ahead of Bamford. Strikes header. Comes back. The Cop. Ayling. Wide for Helder Costa. Leeds turn to press and attack. Rodrigo. The ball infield to Click. Now to Costa. Over the edge of the penalty area on the Leeds right. Twisting and turning, trying to get away from Matinho. And support from Rodrigo, who lifts it to the far side of the penalty area. Bamford tried to bring it down, but it'll go behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think Semedo did well against there. He had two. He had Harrison as well with him. He was just able to put a little bit of pressure on Bamford just to miscontrol it. Yeah, it'll be interesting what the change, because I think the three front lads have done pretty well in this second half.
So Adama Traore just getting some instructions at the moment. That's the kick forwards by Patricio, flicked on by Dendoncker. Neto, Jimenez just trying to help it infield. Either Podence or Dendoncker could get there. We have played nearly 64 minutes at Elland Road. Still 0-0. Podence has done well to win it back on the left-hand touchline, although he took a tumble and the referee just pointed for a Leeds throw that they take quickly.
Yeah, I think he's had a little bit of enough. I think Podence gone down a couple of times, because he was quick to wave a ball to Leeds.
Dallas over the halfway line, trying to lift it down the left-hand side for the run of Harrison, who got to it at the byline, just helped it high into the air, but behind for a goal kick. And it's part of the Leeds way, really, that they do take those throw-ins and free kicks so quickly. They don't allow you a moment's peace. It is Daniel Podence who will be replaced by Adama Traore. It's Traore time.
Yeah, I think he's looked quite lively in this second half as well. Podence involved in the goal was disallowed as well. Had an effort where the keeper's had a good save.
Here comes the full Spain international. At the minute, he's going to go down the middle with Jimenez on the right and Neto on the left. Interesting to see how long that continues.
I just think it was just for the goal kick, I think.
I wonder if they thought of something. Traore to stretch them, maybe. Cody stepping infield away from Rodrigo. Traore is now out on the right-hand touchline and very far wide on the right-hand side. With Kilman with the ball. Saiss back to Dendoncker. If they're going to leave Traore alone like that, pop it over the top and away we go.
Well, you just got to get the ball to him there, though, wouldn't you?
Cody straight one, looking for the run of Neto. With strong header. Unfortunate that Jimenez couldn't quite intercept it. Flick and Matinho battling, and it's going to be a yellow card for João Matinho, and he can't quite believe it.
Yeah, he's not going to let that go. Yeah, he's still booking him.
Well, he had a grip of Click. Click had a grip of him.
Yeah, I think they're both at it.
He ended up on the floor, João Matinho, and he ended up with a free kick in his name in the referee's notebook.
Yeah, I think
he's still complaining.
Yeah, I think he's a bit harsh because they were both at it. They're both pulling each other up.
Ruben Neves is now out warming up. In the meantime, Leeds have the ball. Strike. Phillips back.
So I think he realised he was coming to close there. He knew he couldn't get away from him. Traore, that is.
Now come Leeds forwards again. Got to strike. Wide for Dallas. Back in field. Let's go strike. So Robin Koch. Just to the right of the centre circle. Little ball in field to Phillips, who will try and lift it high, wide, and too high for Jack Harrison. Well, here's a little tale for you. Wolves had 32% possession in the first half and only 2 shots on goal. They're up to 46 now in the second half. Still only 1 shot on goal, though. That's not counting the Romain Saiss effort. Jimenez caught a little bit late by Koku, tracked him all the way for one of his rather trademark volleys from the throw-in. Wolves get a free kick.
Yeah, a bit sore they can be when you're actually committed to volleying the ball and somebody just leaves the boots and the studs.
Haley wants to know what Nuno said to the lads at half-time. Simon Kirby says better second half. Thinks the rule should be is any part of the attacker onside. We won't get Tomo started again. We'll save that for after the game. Here's Neto trying to turn in field. He's done well to get away from 3 white shirts there and still run it down the left-hand side. Still twisting and turning. You see support from Saiss. Coutinho for Dendoncker into the centre circle to Bolly. Bolly couldn't quite find Traore with a lifted left-footed pass. And here come Leeds. Tomo's thoughts in a second as Harrison tries to lift one early. Cody there ahead of Rodrigo. He was caught late there, Connor Cody. And David Coote is saying no and telling him to get up. Leeds have the ball again. There's Calvin Phillips. Wide for Ayling over the halfway line. Back to Phillips, just to the right of the centre circle. Trying to switch the play high out to Dallas. Traore closing him down. Back to Struijk. Enfield for Calvin Phillips. Out to the right-hand side again. Ayling. Intercepted well by Kilman. And Kilman set off there. And he's now looking to hit a diagonal towards Jimenez. Oh, and Struijk had slipped and it just went past Raul Jimenez, but he does have the ball. Jimenez trying to drift infield here. 20 yards from goal, into the centre, back onto his right foot, cutting, deflecting it in! Raul Jimenez, a massive stroke of fortune. But Wolves finally get the breakthrough at Elland Road. Jimenez's run, cut back onto his right foot, and a despairing dive sent it away from Meslier. And having had one ruled out for offside in this second half, finally, Wolves get themselves in front. Leeds 0, Wolves 1.
Well, I was wondering why he didn't give the ball to Traore, and that's the reason why. He wanted a shot on target, pulled back to his right foot. Oh. It's come off Phillips, I think.
Well, I think that's on target. So I think that goes down as Raul Jimenez's goal.
So, look, yeah, it is on target. But Phillips has sent his keeper the wrong way. Keeper's tried to read it. I don't think there was any much power in it, but he's not getting back. Oh.
And Raul Jimenez, who just continues to astound us, really. 3 goals in 6 appearances this season. His 47th Wolves goal on his 105th appearance tonight.
Yeah, he's got some record, hasn't he?
21 goals at Molineux, now 25 away and 1 at Wembley.
There you go.
33 Premier League goals.
And people, and look, say he had no intention of leaving, but that's the reason why he signed that contract here. He wants to stay at the club. He wants to play for Wolves because it suits him. That's how they play to his strengths. He's scoring goals. He's happy here, which is the thing as well. Why would he want to move? Because he was linked to a lot of teams in the summer, wasn't he? And rightfully so. He's a good player.
He's a very good player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Looked like the chance had gone. He did brilliantly to work it infield, and we all thought he was going to strike it left-footed.
Well, I was thinking he's just gone there and he's going to pass it to Traore, but no, he wanted to go on loan.
And I'm going to say this a little bit quietly. I don't think it would have challenged Meslier had it not got the deflection.
No. Well, I did say that. He didn't really catch it, did he? I think you might have even caught that, Mikey.
Rodrigo forwards. Actually, Kilman intercepting again, and must give a huge amount of credit for Max Kilman because he intercepted and set Jimenez away.
I think he's had another great game so far. I think he's played really well. He's looked composed on the ball. we know about his ability on being relaxed when he just passed the ball out, and he just showed it again there.
So Wolves are in front. Can they see the job through? High ball up towards Jimenez that Dallas will play backwards. Pablo Hernandez is waiting to come on. Jan Poveda Ocampo, I think, came on a moment ago. Traore winning it back for Wolves, holding off Harrison, and now setting off on the charge here. Jimenez has run to his right-hand side. Traore will go left to Neto. Left-hand side of the penalty area, Neto striking. Good block on it by Ayling.
Yeah.
Now to play for a throw.
Well, I think Ayling caught the whole force of that shot, I think. But again, Traore there just breaking away. I think that's probably his first touch, Traore.
He's not had a huge amount on it. It was Helder Costa who went off. Tomo has messed up his headphones here. That's the noise you can hear in the background. So he will get those sorted, and we'll have him rejoin us in a second as Wolves win themselves a corner.
I'm back. All twisted and kept catching on.
You're back now. You're okay now.
I'm okay now. Settled now.
So, Wolves in front.
It's been a much better second half, hasn't he? So it looks more like the Wolves that we know.
Neto's corner, left-footed from the left-hand side. Again, Kilman, Saiz, Dendoncker, Bolly, Jimenez, all in a group, just inside the penalty area. Slap bang centre, looking towards goal. Now they'll make their moves. Neto's delivery goes high. Dendoncker trying to bring it down, and then a little tumble by Rodrigo. Free kick Leeds.
Yeah, I just think it's there just to confuse the defenders. They don't know who to pick up, don't know which way they're going. There's a little bit of blocking going on as well there.
They're going to take off a central defender. Pascal Strike is coming off, and Pablo Hernandez is coming on.
And just looking there, it looks like Phillips has just dropped into the back line of Leeds at the minute.
Yeah, maybe he'll play.
Yeah, he's dropped into that back line.
With Click taking over from him in the base of the midfield. High ball forwards, headed away by Saiz. Wolves have something to protect for the last 15 minutes. Raul Jimenez's deflected strike the difference.
I just like him now to keep the pressure on now, keep pushing.
Poveda trying to cut in field, low cross in, well blocked by Cody. He calmly cleared it to Traore, who couldn't quite get away. Up to Bamford. Cody was holding on to him. Kilman got it clear. Click's header. Saiz trying to get it away. If you thought Wolves did a lot of defending in the opening 70 minutes, you haven't seen nothing yet.
No, I was going to say 15 minutes. I was just looking at the clock myself. I think they'll be having a lot of pressure from Leeds. But there's going to be opportunities now with them taking a defender off. If we can just get the ball to Traore, who we haven't really used so far in this since he's come on.
There's Harrison on the left-hand side. Infield to Click. Wide for Rodrigo. On the left, cutting back in onto his right foot. Harrison's continued his run. Cross-whipped all the way through the penalty area. It was high, probably too high for anyone to get on.
I don't think we'll be in a rush to set this.
Wolves throw on the far side. There's good build-up play. Harrison's ball, too high for Bamford at the far post, the only one who was really closing in on it. So Wolves, 40% possession second half, but they've had 3 shots to Leeds 1. They had 30% possession first half, and they had 2 shots to Leeds 9. There's the difference. Little bit more possession, far more threatening.
Yeah. I said that's what they need to do a lot better with the ball to cause more of a threat.
Dallas's header over the halfway line. Taken on by Rodrigo. Wide for Harrison, 30 yards from goal. Infield to Dallas. Further infield it goes to Mateus Click. Little ball for Pablo Hernandez. Gets it from Calvin Phillips. everybody bar Jimenez is back in the final third here for Wolves. Ball on the right-hand side for Vader. Vader being closed down by Matinho. Ball goes wide again. And Rodrigo being shown in field. And somehow Semedo just got there ahead of Bamford. Wolves a little bit risky at the back, but they felt they had enough numbers. And Traore is fouled by Dallas on the halfway line to the fury.
Yeah, I don't know about that. There's been a foul.
Pretty sure that's the Leeds owner who you can hear screaming.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Andrea Radicani.
Yeah, I think he's got the ball there. Dallas.
He's not happy.
No.
Wolves are. Matinho with the free kick. Just over the halfway line. 12 minutes to play. Jimenez tried to head it down for Traore. He was too far away from him. Got to be closer, those two.
Yeah, Sally just needed a little bit more movement from Traore there. He didn't really help him out. Just needed a little bit more.
Calvin Phillips, a long diagonal ball. Semedo wanted to go out of play. Bamford got across in front of him and played it off Semedo for a corner.
Yeah, I think it must be the owner of Leeds, hasn't it? The immense noise that's coming from him.
Needed to be a bit more switched on there, Nelson Semedo. Allowed Bamford in front of him. And it now creates a set-piece opportunity. Pablo Hernandez whipping in right-footed from the left-hand side. First header away by Dendoncker. And now he gets a second chance to clear. And Neto will try and take it on. And Neto will try and use his speed. And this is a good run by Neto down the left-hand side up against Dallas. Got support.
Oh,
and then loses the ball.
That was unlucky, because he did really well there, Neto.
Dendoncker got it back to him just when Wolves needed it to stick. Poor old Raul Jimenez is knackered up front.
Yeah, I think a change will be coming, won't it?
Neves is coming on in a minute, though. Here's Ayling. Ayling's cross into the danger zone. Hernandez's header comes all the way through to Harrison. Back and deflected and looping over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, Bolly did well.
Hernandez's strike.
Yeah, Bolly did well. Got out to him. Got the block on it. Yeah, did well.
Calvin Phillips with the corner. Right-footed from the left-hand side. Whipping in towards the near post. Headed away by Jimenez. Only as far as Click. Tries to scoop it high towards the far post. And there's a Wolves head on the end of it from Saiz. Neto trying to get away from one challenge. Ayling back there with him. Neto trying to knock it past him. Ayling just used his experience to step across him.
Yeah, just stood across him, didn't he? Just blocked him off. There were a couple of good runs, hasn't he, Neto? He's probably just getting his breather back.
Into the final 10 minutes at Elland Road. Rodrigo trying to help it wide. Saiz has just put his foot through it. Jimenez read it, chased. Can't quite get there ahead of Calvin Phillips, who took a tumble from the challenge of Raul Jimenez. Leeds get a free kick and Wolves will finally be able to bring on Ruben Neves. And Leeds are preparing a change as well. Rafinha will come on for his debut. Neves on for Neto, I reckon. Leeds changes first. It's Jack Harrison who goes off. No, it's Matinho who comes off.
Matinho's coming off.
I just thought Wolves would go to three in midfield, but that's not in Nuno's thinking.
No. Well, he's probably thinking that Neto can do a job for him out there, but also he gives him that little burst of pace down that left-hand side as well.
Matinho was on a yellow card as well, so maybe a wise move.
Yeah, that might be in the thinking as well, isn't it?
So Neves coming on, just over 8 minutes to play. Wolves still have one more change left if they want. Leeds have made their three.
Yeah, again, so look, you're looking at Traore. He's been on a wall now. I think he's had one run, hasn't he? So we've got to try and get the ball to him.
Leeds 0, Wolves 1, 8 minutes to play. Semedo, ball went backwards off his head and he's forced just to hook it high. Click, let it bounce. Found Pablo Hernandez. Awkward one back to Ayling, but he controls it. On halfway to the right of the centre circle. Long diagonal. Semedo stretched, didn't quite get there. Rafinha with a low ball back into the danger zone. Dendoncker actually helped it on towards Poveda, and somehow the ball scrambles through the 6-yard box and Semedo will be able to get it clear. Wolves living very dangerously there.
Well, I was wondering how they didn't get a shot away, Leeds, up with anything that was going to cause a problem.
Looked like it was going to fall to Rodrigo, didn't it?
Yeah, just seemed like it was ricocheting, didn't it?
Oh, what a good sliding challenge by Max Kilman. What a game he's having.
Yeah, he's had a great game, hasn't he?
Neto takes a tumble on halfway. It's just a Leeds throw. Got to be a bit more careful with the ball.
Yeah, I think we've just got to look after the ball a little bit now, just to relieve a little bit of pressure. Don't give Leeds the chance.
Hernandez onto Bamford, heavy touch all the way through to Patricio.
Yeah, I just think that's what we've got to do. We've got to try and get our players on the ball. So Leeds are throwing absolutely everything at it. So there's going to be space, especially in that top third. But we've just got to get that ball.
Traore came off his shoulder. Rafinha. Dallas forwards. Bolly back to the halfway line. Just about 6 minutes left to play. Wolves do have Owen Otasawi amongst the subs who would be physical presence to put in there. Semedo's won a free kick from the challenge of Bamford. He looks a bit perplexed.
I think he's just knew what he was doing. I think he's just caught the heels of him. He brought him down. Just looking at it again. Oh yeah, he's grabbed hold of him.
Kiana Hoover and Fabio Silva are out warming up as well at the minute, and a lot of the Wolves bench have been looking at the three of them.
Well, Marcel's just getting stripped here, I think it is.
Yeah, well, they were looking at the three of them, and Marcel was taking his kit off in the stand.
That's it.
Down below us and completely the other direction.
Yeah.
High ball forwards. Flick on by Dendoncker. Try and intercept again. Maybe Saiss will go into midfield, perhaps.
Yeah, possibly.
Overhit pass for Ayling. It'll be a Wolves throw just over the halfway line.
Yeah, it's amazing, a little bit of pressure on it, doesn't it? All of a sudden the passing goes a little bit. Things don't just work out for you. But we've got 5 minutes left of normal time. I'd just like to see us take care of the ball a little bit.
Here come Wolves again. Down the left-hand side through Neto towards the left-hand corner flag. 4.5 minutes of the 90 remain. Neto trying to eat up some time from the game, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, he had to stick into the corner, didn't he? Because Jimenez was the one who played the ball to him. He's still running. He's row out, isn't he? Jimenez.
Ball infield for Click. Dallas to Rafinha on halfway, just inside his own half. Infield to Pablo Hernandez. Taken forwards by Rodrigo, trying to slide in Bamford, but Cody read the danger. Forced wide, Connor Cody plays it off Bamford.
Yeah,
Wolves
well
get
played
the throw.
again. Well played again. Read it really well, didn't he? Just stepped across.
Derek Hoots telling Semedo to hurry things up. Marcel getting some final instruction. Less than 4 minutes at Elland Road. Can Wolves see this job through? Throw down the line. Bolly trying to get a foot to the ball. It just goes high into the air. Neves needed a shout there. Managed to backheader it to Neto, who's lost possession. Manages to step in. Dendoncker getting the better of Pablo Hernandez, and Neves looking up, wanted to find Traore, and it's a super ball to pick him out. Traore down the right-hand side, no real support just yet. Waiting for his teammates to arrive. Traore trying to go on the outside of Dallas. Dallas out-muscles Adama Traore. That takes some doing.
Yeah, but it's doubled up on him, but to say stop the ball, just let him get back at him. I think that he's got the opportunity. Open your legs up a little bit. Because his first touch was brilliant from the ball from Neves.
Here come Leeds again down their right-hand side. Poveda, Hernandez with the back heel. Neves reads it, no nonsense, hoofs it into the stand. And we should be seeing Marcel. Not just yet. Leeds will take the throw. Click. Back wide for Ayling. Infield to Pablo Hernandez. Forwards to Rodrigo. Right hand side of the penalty area. Cody at his back. Ball goes backwards to Ayling. Takes a couple of touches. Rodrigo just about stayed on side. Ball reverse for Ayling. Cross whipped in, and Patricio claimed it well at the near post.
Yeah. I was going to say what he's done tonight. He's done really well, hasn't he, Patricio? It's come together. The ball handling's been good.
2 minutes to play, plus time to be added on. Patricio's kick downfield in the direction of Jimenez, who had a time to collect it on the chest, and he wins the throw.
Brilliant play. So he's chested it down. He says he's come from a long way.
It's Neto who comes off for Marcel.
Yeah.
So I think that will mean.
I think Marcel will just go in front of Saiss. Do you think? Leave it as it is.
Doesn't look like Saiss is going into midfield just yet, the way he was manoeuvring there. That might still be part of the plan. Neto off. Another good contribution from him.
Yeah, so he's standing midfield, isn't he?
Marcel's gone into midfield, yeah. Fresh legs. As Jimenez is caught by Robin Koch, and it's going to be given as a throw to Leeds, I think. And Wolves are complaining here.
Well, I think he's caught him there.
Yeah, free kick is now given in Wolves' direction.
Yeah, I think that VAR have come into it again, haven't they? Obvious mistake by him.
David Coote. There's nothing come up on our screens as to a full VAR check.
I don't think he will. I think he must have just got something in his ear that's in the replay.
Or maybe a kick out by Raul Jimenez, you know.
Well, to be fair, he's stamping all over him though, isn't he? I think he's just done it to get him off him.
Leeds players are still gathering around here, causing a few issues. Traore's being pulled away by Cody. Jimenez is still down. We're into the final 30 seconds of the 90 minutes here. It is a Wolves free kick. That much we do know.
I don't know why Leeds are arguing and moaning. Just get on, there's a goal down and they're just wasting basically their own time.
Now Jimenez does kick out here on the floor.
I just saw that 6 minutes. I think I've just saw 6 minutes. There you go.
6 minutes to be added on. 6 tortuous minutes.
Yeah.
Nothing going to be doing for the incident between Koch and Jimenez. Semedo takes it short to Jimenez. Oh, and Semedo wasn't alert there for the pass back. It wasn't the best of balls.
No.
Back from Jimenez.
But I just think that sometimes just put it into the corner, let Traore run after it. Just because you're causing more problems than enough for yourself.
Wolves trying to see this job through, leading by 1-0. High ball out wide left for Dallas, midway inside the Wolves half. Wolves have had such a strong record at Elland Road in recent seasons. Are they set to continue it? Traore trying to set off on the right-hand side. Click got back with him. Traore turning, trying to find support. 1-2 with Dendoncker, but he's going the wrong way and now finds Dendoncker. That's
well
good
played.
play.
Yeah, it was good play. Tight area, wasn't it? Did really well.
Dendoncker found Bolly. Kilman. Marcel infield. Neves just trying to scoop it down the line. Ball had already got out of play. Leeds throw. We've played 1.5 minutes of the 6 being added on by my watch. Dallas up to the halfway line. Pablo Hernandez is flick. Jimenez won the ball back cleanly. Dendoncker for Neves, and suddenly it's 4-on-4. Neves towards the edge of the penalty area, trying to strike it or come back to him. Ruben Neves to seal it. Another block, and somehow Robin Koch has got the ball away.
Yeah, I think it's Ayling that's got the block on it again. And that was 2 there. That was a good tackle. Just watching the replay of that. I thought he could have gone to Marcel down this left-hand side, though.
So many times seen Ruben Neves strike from that kind of range, and the left-footed one. Goalkeeper was diving the wrong way, you know. That would have been the winner.
Yeah. just couldn't get it away, could he? Good blocks from Leeds.
Ayling to try and bring it forwards. 2.5 minutes of the 6 added on has gone at Elland Road. Still Wolves lead by a goal to nil. Is there still to be another twist in the tail? There are Wolves heading for back-to-back 1-0 victories either side of the international break. Still defending to do. Rodrigo trying to play it in behind Semedo. Rafinha's ball goes into the side netting. Goal kick.
Yeah. So look, again, they're trying to put all the pressure on. Wolves just taking the time with everything.
Wolves have won on 4 of their last 6 visits here to Elland Road. We were talking to Nua Dicko before kick-off. His goal was enough for a 1-0 win in April 2017. That was the day that Wolves confirmed their championship status that season. And we all know what happened after then. Dendoncker trying to control on halfway. Bolly forwards. Jimenez couldn't grab hold of it. Strong ball forwards from Willy Bolly.
Yeah, it's just a shame he couldn't get hold of it there. So, but let's say it was a difficult ball to control.
Ayling for Poveda. Trying to turn away from Marçal. Ayling has it. Saiz tried to get a foot in. Poveda takes a free kick, rather soft. Neves and Marçal went challenging.
Well, you can see that they're going to push everybody up now. It's going to give them an opportunity to put the ball in the box.
Last 2 minutes of the 6 being added on.
They're playing.
Pablo Hernandez wide for Poveda. On again to Rafinha. Good block on the cross
Jimenez.
by Raul Jimenez. And Jimenez trying to run the ball clear. It'll just go for a Leeds throw midway inside the Wolves half on the Leeds right. Taken quickly again. Phillips leaving it for Ayling. Down the line. Ayling continued his run. He thought Poveda had, but he didn't. Marçal turning and clearing. Another Leeds throw, though. And still there are 90 seconds left to play. 1 goal lead.
Oh,
always
corner.
Difficult. That's come off Neves. It'll be a Leeds corner. As we approach the final 60 seconds.
They don't like doing things easy, do they?
They never do. They never, ever do. Corner left-footed from the right-hand side. Hanging, high delivery. Will come all the way through to Click, who let it bounce awkwardly, and it's sent in wide to the corner flag. Delivers his cross in, headed away by a stooping Ruben Neves. Dendoncker trying to get something on it. Click's header infield. Phillips. Pablo Hernandez trying to turn away from Neves. Everybody deep here for Wolves. Wide for Poveda down the left-hand side. Low cross blocked by Semedo and hooked away by Dendoncker.
Yeah,
and there are 30 seconds left to survive. Dallas's throw. Infield to Calvin Phillips. Wide to Mateus Click. 20 seconds left at Elland Road. Dallas, infield to Pablo Hernandez, middle of the half, back to Dallas on the inside left, right-footed cross from him, looping in dangerously, headed by Saiz, it'll come all the way through to Rafinha on the right, Rafinha scooping his cross in, big header away by Connor Cody, Neves will put his foot through it, last couple of seconds, whistle to his lips, final whistle goes, and it is a big victory for Wolverhampton Wanderers, back-to-back 1-0 wins. They had to work hard for it. But a deflected strike by Raul Jimenez with 20 minutes to go is the difference between the two teams after Romain Saiz had one ruled out for a marginal offside against Daniel Podence in the build-up. Leeds had a goal disallowed in the first half for an obvious offside to Patrick Bamford. Leeds were much the better first half. Wolves came strong in the second. They got the goal, and then it was a classic Wolves performance to see the job through, protect their clean sheet, and it is a 3rd win of the season. It finished at Elland Road, Leeds 0, Wolves 1.
Yeah, so look, as I say, good victory. So look, they weathered the storm in that first half. They weren't at the best, but I think the second half they've come out and looked a lot better, a lot sharper, created opportunities, looked a lot more like themselves. And again, I know the goal's gone in a deflection, but so look at the disallowed goal from Saiz, which was a great strike, which would have given the victory as well. But look, say you got to come here. You got to come here and battle against Leeds if you're going to win, and they did that tonight, and they got a good performance and a good win in that second half.
No one will ever look back and talk too much about the first half performance, but they won the game, and that's what this team does from time to time.
Yeah, it does. It's a lot. Look, we can talk about how they didn't play really well with the ball, and I've said it myself in that first half. We've got to look after the ball better, but I'll tell you what, they defended pretty well. I thought Kilman played really, really well. I thought that it didn't phase him or anything in that game. He come out and played the ball. He looked calm. So like when he was playing it out, and it looks great to see. But like, it's all about the 3 points. So I know we want a performance. I know we want us to play well, but you've got to just go out and just get the 3 points what you can. So look, I know that we're going through that transition stage, and we need to make sure that we get the results, just to give us an opportunity to make sure we're pushing towards the top.
Some lovely scenes down there, by the way, as Helder Costa was being greeted and hugged by quite a few of the Wolves players. I think he's collected a few shirts for his collection as well from Matinho and Semedo. Connor Cody ran over and gave him a quick pat before going to do his media duties. And also I saw a big hug from Romain Saiz to his former teammate as well. We wish Helder Costa the very best in his future here at Leeds United. Leeds are a good team, remember. They've scored plenty of goals this season, but they didn't score against Wolves today, who got themselves the victory. And we'll get reaction from Chris Iwelumo, from Carl Ikeme, and more from Andy Thompson in just one moment. Don't go anywhere.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV, powered by Blythe Group. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app. Wolves TV, Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
This season, the Old Goal Club and Wolves TV Matchday Live are powered by Blythe Group, an industry-leading construction company and family-run business since 1982, driving investment and infrastructure across the UK. Blythe Group's mission is to provide an unrivaled service based on innovative, bespoke building solutions and comprehensive customer support. If you're a skilled tradesperson and you want to join the team that powers our team, contact their bases in Wolverhampton, Manchester or Maidenhead via theblythegroup.co.uk. Blythe Group, big enough to deliver, small enough to care.
Wolves TV Matchday Live, powered by Blythe Group.
Well. Wolves got themselves the victory. Tomo mentioned at the end of this game, Carl Ikeme, that Wolves don't always do it the easy way in some of these matches, and they were forced to defend for their lives. But in fairness to them, across that 90 minutes, they did really well to get that clean sheet, and they've earned the win.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. A few hairy moments towards the end, but I felt like Wolves done a number on Leeds tonight. It wasn't necessarily free-flowing football throughout the game, but they defended when they needed to. They limited Leeds to very few chances, clear-cut chances, and got the goal when they could. I think, seen from the first half, we was under pressure a lot, but you could see when we went forward, if we played the right pass, we'd be dangerous, and I think we did that in the second half, and we looked a real threat.
Chris Iwelumo, just before I come to you, I just want to read out some of these stats here, because this is kind of the difference we're talking about. First half, Wolves had 32% of the ball and 2 shots to Leeds 9. Second half, they still only had 34% of the ball, but they had 5 shots, and Leeds only had 4, and not a single one of them was on target. I mean, they didn't have much of the ball all night. They just seemed to use it better second half, and they suddenly became much more of a threat.
Yeah, I thought second half was a much better performance. I thought a little bit more creative, taking the time to get the ball down and try and play it at our tempo. I think it's a result business, Mikey. You said yourself there, didn't you, that no one's thinking about the first half now. It's job done, isn't it? It's 3 points on the board. And that's something that's a good It's a good resolve that the team's got. You know, I think that defended for their lives. It's part and parcel of the game. You're not going to have it all your own way, no matter what game that you're playing. Leeds were good tonight. Still, it's another clean sheet. You look at Tomo's spoke about Kilman there. Again, man of the match for me tonight, because I thought he was outstanding. You know, 23 years old. He's got a mature head. He defends well, puts his body on the line, and that's part and parcel of the game as well. It's not just about this free flowing brand, chance after chance. It's about understanding Conor Cody. You know, defending the space, did it excellently well tonight. You know, when he had the opportunity with the ball, we played. I think Traore came on, made a positive impact. So there's so many positives, as well as putting three points on the board. But after that first half, we could only get better, but we were more creative with it. And Leeds, like you say, we kind of nullified their threat a little bit going forward.
We'll get into the nitty-gritty of it all in just a moment. But Tomo, we talked a little bit beforehand about the reaction that was needed to the West Ham result, and maybe the West Ham performance too, and the way that Wolves conceded goals and looked in trouble at times every time West Ham went forwards. The last two games, their response has been almost, in a way, back to Nuno basics. We keep it tight. We don't allow teams too many chances. They've got 2 clean sheets, and that's meant that they've come away with 6 points.
And that's what it's all about. To say it's making teams look. We know they didn't play well in that first half, but what they did do, they defended really well. So look, they stopped Leeds from getting opportunities. They were getting blocks on. We spoke about Kilman, the way that he played. Marshalled really well by Conor Cody. So that the goal what Bamford scored, what was offside, that was marshalled by the Conor Cody, telling his back line to push up and squeeze up and leave him in there. And again, that's what they've had to do. They knew it was going to be a battle coming to Leeds. They knew it was going to be a tough night. And if they didn't compete with Leeds, they would lose the game. But they have. They competed with them. So, like, okay, we were brilliant in that first half. But they come out the second half, totally different. Looked a lot sharper. The passing was finding its targets as well. And the created opportunities. Unfortunate that the goal was disallowed for offside. But great strike from... Oh, no. Don't get me started on that, Looms, I tell you. But look, they've done really well. They've bounced back with the way that we wanted them to, with the way that they come out in the second half. Again, take any goal as it comes. He was never going to beat the keeper if he went past the defender. But if you don't have a shot, you don't score. And that's what happened tonight.
We'll come to the disallowed goal in just a minute. I do just want to come back to this element of the defence, because I just feel like, Carl Ikeme, that I want to give Max Kilman so much praise tonight, because not only was he a rock defensively, and he has been for the last 2 games now, he set the move away for the goal with a brilliant interception and pass.
Every time I've seen Max play, he's been brilliant, to be honest. And I think seeing him play against Fulham again tonight, he just looks so mature in that position. He doesn't panic on the ball. You don't really see him get done. Don't see anyone really go past him. And for someone of such a young age as well, he's just slotted in perfectly there. And it's his position now to keep, isn't it? You can't see it. You can't see it changing. Like I said, he's been really good. I know he's come in last season in little spurts and never let us down. But instead of just not letting us down, now he's adding something more to that. He's adding more to his game. He's adding more to the team, and brilliant on his behalf, on Nuno's behalf, on trusting him. And we're looking like we've got a real top quality left side centre half on our hands at the minute.
Keemsey's got a real good presence, hasn't he? But you've got to think about it as well. Even at that young age, he's got Patricio behind him, Cody to the right of him, and Saiz to the left and in front of him. So he's in good company, isn't he?
He's got a lot of help around him as well. Obviously, Code's big talker. Rui played hundreds of games, and Saiz as well, Bolly. But you can still have shaky young lads, and we they normally play him left back, right back to sort of get him game time, but make sure they don't make any big mistakes. But he doesn't even look like he will make mistakes, of course he will, but he doesn't look like he's an error waiting to happen. He looks like he's comfortable in position, and it's not just like he's filling a hole. He's actually doing a great job there as well.
Yeah, you will look at that again. Yes, sorry, Tom.
Sorry, mate. It doesn't look like anything phases him, does it? So we saw it a couple of times in the first half, when he's actually pulled it back into his own penalty area and had the composure to play it out. And that's what
and he doesn't mind a little tear up as well. You've seen that against Fulham, the referee's pulling him over at the corner. So that's, what I mean, he's got a presence, he's a big lad, but he's composed and he's got that mature head, which is it's fantastic to see.
I can't get enough of him. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, we talk about him being able to play. Obviously, it's the one stat that everybody knows about him, that he played for England futsal as an international, and obviously that is a clear indication that he can play with it on the deck. But he's a very quiet character. He's not kind of big and brash in amongst it, and he's had to be patient. But wow, has he taken his opportunity in the last 2 games? All of which means, though, that, I mean, I'm not sure you could take Romain Saïs out of this team at the minute. So we signed 2 new left wing backs this season.
I know.
And neither of them can get in the team.
Well, if that goal got allowed as well, like they'd never have a chance of getting back in the team for at least, that must have given Saïs at least 5 games, that goal anyway. But they've been brilliant. We've talked about the West Ham game and the disappointment after it, but they've been solid after. I know Fulham wasn't the greatest of performances, but we were solid. And I know people might not have been happy how we was first half, but I thought it was just a solid half. I thought Leeds were really good, and we thought we defended really well, and we added to that in the second half. And like I said, I think Nuno's done his homework tonight, and I think we've done a number on Leeds.
Because this is the thing, though, isn't it? Like, Leeds had a lot of the ball, but I don't actually remember them really kind of coming that close. Does that make sense? Like, there was a lot of balls put into the box, but as we talked about, Kilman, Cody, Bolly defended pretty well. They got into some good spaces out wide. But I don't really remember Patricio having a clear-cut save to make.
Well, that's part and parcel of, isn't it? I think second half, definitely. First half, they had a few opportunities, but again, it was like half chances. There was no clear cut. I think the Pedence chance for Wolves was the best chance out of the first 45 when Leeds were very dominant. A lot of final attacking third entries. But you're right, and that's down to the position of the likes of Bolly, Cody, and Kilman, and obviously the likes of Samido and Saïs doing their job, and it's part and parcel of football, Mikey. You have to defend. There's going to be moments. Positionally wise, I thought we were excellent. We weathered the storm, and like you say, the margins are so small in football. That little bit of quality. Jimenez just having that opportunity, creating it himself, taking the shot on. I think it comes off Phillips, doesn't it? But again, it's probably not going to beat the goalie anyway. But just those little moments. But that's it. That's football, And then after that, like you said, we just managed the game, professional as ever. And again, you've got another result on the board, haven't you?
Well, this is the thing. We talk about fine margins. Let's talk about the offside that Romain Saïs, an absolute wonder strike, because it was a hell of a finish from him. Me and Tomo disagree slightly on this. My view is that he was offside, but I've got no problem with them pulling that up. Tomo, you don't think that they should be drawing lines to work it out?
No, I don't think so either. So if you can't see it with the eye, and again, it's they're taking it away from the officials on the decision. And look, I know
if it was against Wolves, Tom, would you want that offside? That's what I'm laughing at. Yeah. I know he'd call it if it's against Wolves, he'd be raging.
Go on.
Interestingly enough, Arsene Wenger, have you heard what his little thoughts on the offside rule? So basically, he says that you're only offside if you can see daylight between the striker and the defender. So any part of the player can be offside, even if it's a part that you can score with, but there has to be daylight. I think that makes sense.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think we agree with it tonight, but I think next week when someone 3/4 of their body, 90% of their body offside, we'll be screaming. Tomo will be definitely moaning.
I just think that,
and me, you won't be happy either.
You've got to draw a line on the pitch to find out offside. I know. I'll change it next week. Don't worry.
I say the only thing that I said in commentary was that the thing that slightly annoys you is the length of time, like that they pull it back.
Yeah.
Like Pedenza's gone, he's taken on his man. I mean, he twisted and turned for a bit. Cross goes in, it comes off the head of a Leeds player to then deny Romain Saïs. But Keames is exactly right. And I said it in commentary, if that was the other way round, we'd have been screaming blue murder that we wanted that goal disallowed. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Talk to me about the finish, though. The touch, tell you what, for that to be taken off you.
That's the worst part of it, you know.
That's the stigma of it, yeah.
I literally woke the whole house up when he scored that, and I probably woke him up again when he scored again.
You're in trouble then, mate.
Yeah. I mean, I'm staying in this room all night.
That through choice or be told?
I'll be told. Give my orders.
But see, the thing is, Keames will remember do you remember his first season when every time he lined up a shot, and he used to shoot from ridiculous distances.
I remember it.
Like, we always used to go, oh, here we go, and this is going to go here, there, and everywhere. And suddenly, he's just found a real rhythm. And it's almost, as much as I want to give praise to Max Kilman, I want to give praise to Romain Saiss as well, because you look at that team sheet, and he's one of those first names on it. No matter where you're going to put him on the field, he's doing incredibly well, Carl Ikeme.
I think with Saiss, I think when he first come to the club, I could see his quality, and just from whispers that you heard at the time, there was big rumours that he was supposed to go to West Ham when he was in the Premier League. So you could see the sort of quality he had, and he's kind of a bit of an unsung hero at the minute, isn't he? He's like Dendoncker is getting the rightful bit of love that he deserves, but Saiss is kind of in that boat as well. He's always in the team or thereabouts. He will play a massive chunk part of the season, and in like you said, he never lets you down. And he's proved a real important member of the squad. And now he can play. Now he's playing on the left. He can play left side centre half. He can play in the centre midfield. And it's important for Wolves to have that continuity in the squad. He knows every position, and he'll always do a job for Wolves.
Tomo,
yeah,
give some praise to Romain Saiss.
Yeah, I think he's done really well. So look, there's been talks about bringing in loads of different players in different positions, but he's gone in there and he's done a job. He's done a job for the team, and he's not just done it okay. He's done it really well.
Yeah.
And we spoke about in the first half about people getting into that box and giving people an opportunity to get or have a gamble. He did that. I know he had the strike, and I know it was disallowed for offside, but we talk about him getting in there, and I say the quality that he's got. So he defends really well. And the different positions that he can give you, he's been unbelievable for the club. And look, you take your hat off to him. So I think the way that he's gone about it, his attitude, the way that he could look.
He's got a great personality as well.
He's by playing in different positions and not playing in his midfield position. But what he's done, he's gone there and made sure that he's put on a performance, and that's what you want from your players in your squad.
Yeah, I was just adding, he's got a great personality as well. He's well loved within the squad, and he's one of them players as well that I'm sure Nuno have been looking, like you said, at a left-sided player and a left-sided centre half, maybe a midfielder that's kind of coming with Dendoncker and Moutinho. But Saiss, you can't just move him. You can't get him out. He's determined to stay in, and so and that's credit to Saiss as well. Yeah. He's determined to play every game and every moment he can, and every time he gets that opportunity, he never lets us down.
Yeah, well, he knows it's his shot to lose at the minute, doesn't he? That's it, and it's performance. He's steady Eddie. You know what you're going to get with him, and obviously Kilman coming in puts that little bit more pressure on him as well. But another fantastic performance again this evening. So, no, outstanding.
I mean, this is the interesting thing, isn't it? Now that like we're in this position, and we've talked about the evolution of this Wolves team. I don't think any of us actually thought that in the evolution of this team, we would suddenly be in a position where Kilman, Saiss, and Dendoncker were arguably three of the first names in there alongside Jimenez, Bolly, Cody. And kind of now at the minute, there is a real debate, isn't there, between Moutinho, Neves, which one is going to be in there. Moutinho got the game to start today. It was Neves last time out. Semedo has done okay. Still, I think, needs to kind of get to grips with the way this team is playing. And all of a sudden, Adama Traore is not necessarily a starter in this team. And I don't think anybody, Looms, would have predicted that at the back end of last season.
No, it's so important to have a balance, though, isn't it? You know, you've got players there that are very, very technical, but you've got players that have got that energy, that engine that can go box to box. So I just think, like you say, the likes of Dendoncker doing what he does, Kilman coming in, Saiz, these are steady Eddie players. These players are, you know what you're going to get, but they're finding their feet as well. So no, I think it's all about the balance, Mikey, and at the minute we're in that transition, and like you say, that the players, the competition's there, and that only raises the bar. When you know that you've got to put in a performance to keep your shirt, and I think that's getting the best out of the players at the minute.
Almost though, it's this thing, isn't it? About, we talk about the changing way that Wolves go about things, Tomo. That the last two performances, much more like the old Wolves of the last couple of years, and even tonight, it felt much more like the old way of playing, the old formation of playing. Is that a response to what happened at West Ham, or did we just get carried away with what we saw at Sheffield United and thought that this was a brave new world?
I would think so, to the West Ham one more so. I think they're losing with the way that they lost and the margin of goals, what they lost. I'd say it's very unlike Wolves' team. And I just think that it hurt them. I think it hurt them really bad, and the manager. And he's just said to them, look, we need to pull our sleeves up a little bit. We need to make sure that we push on. And we can't afford to keep having days like that. So, and look, you can't. I think that it really did hurt the team, and so and no more so than the manager as well. And you can't do it. And look, he's come out with the two wins that we've had. Look, I haven't been the greatest performance, but it's all about the results. It's all about getting the 3 points, getting a result, and again, hopefully developing the team as well. We've had players come in and out of the side. We've had a few injuries this year, which we hadn't had before. Johnny being one of the main concerns of it, getting injured, who's out for a long time. And look, people are coming in and doing a great job. People are coming in and performing for the team in the positions that they put there. And look, if you're in the starting 11, great, because you've got the shirt. It's up to you then to lose it. So look, and that's the thing about it. There's pressure coming from outside in the squad, which is great, because that's going to make sure that it's challenging you and make sure that it's pushing you forward. But you want to see players out there trying to be the best that they can. And that's all you can go for. So, like, you want your team to try 100% tactically as well. So, is what Nuno's good at, getting his team playing. And again, I think it's a great victory coming out, because I thought that Leeds are a good side.
On that tactical point, boys, we talked a lot pre-game about the kind of the difference in styles between Bielsa and Nuno. Nuno will be delighted, Looms, that he's come out on top of this and he stopped Leeds from scoring, and it's going to take some for teams to do that this year. No,
you're right. I think on another night it could have been a very different score, but defended amazingly well. I think, and then obviously the second half, the creative quality that we had, we got the ball down and played. But that's, there was a lot said about both managers. About the way, the style, the play. I wouldn't say it cancelled each other out. I think both teams showed the quality that they had, but Wolves showed more resolve, definitely the defensive side. So no, it's a fantastic result, but definitely one that, kick on from it now. That's 2 clean sheets on the bounce after what was a bad performance, bad result. And it's that having that balance, defending well, and then just nicking a game. It's a great sign when you're nicking games 1-0. I know it's your favourite result, but like you say, it takes a lot. It takes a lot, but there's a lot that Nuno can take from it. And there's a lot of confidence in the team from that result as well. But the performance defensively was outstanding.
I think we can get a little bit of reaction from down at pitch side. Now we're going to player cam, and once that has connected to audio, we can talk to Leander Dendoncker. Congratulations.
Hello. Thank you.
That was a hard-fought performance. You really had to work hard for that one.
Yeah, very tough. I think especially the first 20 minutes, I think we suffered a lot. I think the gaffer changed pretty quick. The formation we played in. We passed with 2 midfielders instead of 3, and I think it worked better after that. I think you could feel like at the end of the first half we were trying to get out more with the ball, and we did that. And then I think in the second half we controlled way better. We started to creating chances, and I think in the end it was deserved, because they are a very good team. Where they play with a lot of intensity, and I think we managed pretty well. I mean, we can always do better, but I think to take the 3 points here it's very difficult. So I think we can be very happy with the 3 points.
I was just saying to the guys that there won't be many teams that stop this Leeds team from scoring, and yet it kind of felt like as much as they had a lot of the ball, they didn't really cause you that many problems.
No, not really. They haven't had a lot of chances, I think. As you said, they had the ball, and offensively they have some very good players who can make actions 1v1s, and then the crosses are very good as well. The 2 strikers are technically very, very strong, and but I think we dealt pretty well with it, and I think credits to the whole team for that, especially for the defense. I think against Fulham we held the clean sheet. Now we held the clean sheet again, and that's what it starts with, to keep the 0 behind. And then, of course, we created some chances. Daniel had 2 big chances. Sai's got a goal cancelled. I heard that the offside was really a close call. So yeah, I think in the end we can be satisfied. But we just have to keep on working hard. 2 home games now, and then Leicester away before the international break again. So I just think we have to keep going.
Leander, we talk about the first half. Was that the tactics going into the game to contain Leeds for the first 20 to 25 minutes and take him into the second half?
Yeah. Well, we started off with 3 midfielders, and the gaffer wanted us to be very tight in the midfield and don't give them too much space. But I think that the danger came more from the sides. So I think that's why he changed and put Pedro and Daniel more on the side to defend better. And I think we managed pretty well after that. And yeah, the second half was way better. We dealt way better with that, and we started creating chances ourselves. We could find the spaces better than in the first half, and yeah, I think it was good.
Yeah, and Nuno didn't look very happy at half time or going into that second half. What were the biggest changes that he made or spoke about in that second half?
Yeah, well, we knew before the game that it was going to be a very, very tough game. And we felt that, especially as I said, in the first 20, 30 minutes, we suffered a lot. And that's just the way they play. They go man against man. And I don't think we are used, or I don't think any team is used to that. Even Kevin De Bruyne told me they played them before the international break. And he told me, you will see it will be very hard because they go man to man. But he also said that after 30 minutes, they leave spaces, and I think that's what you could see today. I know the first half wasn't really good from our side because we were looking how to find the spaces, how to deal with them, and I think in the second half we managed way better. Yeah, to get 3 points here, I think is really difficult, and I don't think a lot of teams will do it.
Are you secretly happy, Leander, that the winning goal didn't come from Romain? Because I can imagine he would not let you guys forget just how good that goal was had it actually counted.
Yeah, he was really disappointed with that, and he was looking at the images after the game, and I heard it was a very close call with the offside, and that's a pity. That's a shame because the finish was outstanding. It was such a nice goal, and I think he's playing in a position that is not the easiest for him, but he's doing really well, and he's working really hard. And I think Max Gilman did really well as well, and I think their understanding is good. They talk a lot, they try to communicate a lot, and that's so important. So yeah, I think we can be satisfied.
Just finally, before we let you go, just kind of, I guess, no wins now, 2 clean sheets. You're just getting on a bit of momentum. Just keep it going.
Yeah, I think that's what we will try. We have 2 home games now, but we have to keep working hard. And every game is just a very tough one. Now it's Newcastle and then Palace. So yeah, we have to take game by game really, and try to recover really well now, and then try to be ready for the next one.
Okay, I'll let you go because clearly people are trying to get your attention whilst you're there as well. Leander, thank you very much for joining us on Matchday Live Extra.
Yeah, you're welcome. See you guys.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Bye-bye. See you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Performance he had as well today. He's been very impressive in the last two games, Chris Iwelumo. And I mean, he didn't play at all in that game at West Ham, and we were all surprised that he didn't. And he's come back into the team, and they've kept clean sheets. And I guess a large part of that goes down to the work he does in midfield.
Yeah, you know what? He takes so much responsibility in there to sit there and just protect the back three like he does. But then obviously then the spin side of that as well, the energy that he brings, he can go box to box. And it must frustrate him a little bit, you know, because that first 30 minutes tonight, he did have to just sit and protect. And like you say, once you weather that storm and then you start getting the ball down, you've seen what he done, because it was his drive into the box that created that chance for Prudence. So, no, he brings so much. You know, obviously he scores goals as well. So it's something that Nuno's challenged the group with. He wants more goals from the team. So it's he ticks all boxes for me, Mikey. And I think that's the thing now. I think it's going to be either Neves or Moutinho, one-on-one. And then Dendoncker in beside either one of them. So it's definitely a nice balance there.
You can tell, Tomo, that he spends a lot of time with Nuno, because that mantra of just taking it game by game is very evident in there. And he obviously mentioned the two home games coming up now against Newcastle and Palace before Leicester. Nuno always talks about games in these small kind of groups. 3 now before the next international break. They've already picked up this one win. I kind of jokingly said to you beforehand about kind of a win puts you in amongst that top group of teams. Suddenly things look an awful lot better than they did 3 weeks ago.
Well, it is. I think, have we gone up to 6th now or something like that? We've gone up to now.
Joint fourth.
Joint fourth. Okay, we'll take that. It's joint fourth then.
Keane's laughing at me already.
He's got that precise.
I feel like we've overreacted so much from the West Ham game. I feel sick sitting here just even thinking about it. We've had a good start to the season, haven't we? And I think tonight's performance, I was really impressed with tonight's performance, in honesty. Speaking to Leander then, he said how difficult it was first half, the amount of running that Leeds are doing, the runners. I just kept on seeing the ball go from right to left, and the runners keep running, and he stuck with them all night, and he's become really important in Wolves' side. We always used to sort of talk Neves, Moutinho, them being the two in midfield, but it's the Dunker and one of them two at the minute, isn't it? And it's credit to him.
He gives you that physical presence in there as well, doesn't he? So that's what he's got. He's got that driving force to push the team at the field as well. We saw it in that first half, the pace that he's shown to get up the field and so to create opportunities, and that's what he gives you. So
he does both, doesn't he? He'll get back and put his foot in, and then he'll start driving forward. He's a real box-to-box player, and he has been brilliant for Wolves, to be honest.
I just want to read out some of these messages. Jared says, "Well done to the team. Much stronger second half. This team has the character to fight back and take it." Max Kilman, top man. Raul Jimenez, goal machine. Dave Wright says, "Jekyll and Hyde, first half and second, that's Wolves. Simple." And Helen says, "Looks like another prediction win for you, sir." I mean, somebody did predict a 1-0 Wolves win.
Who's that?
Is that 3 out of 5 correct so far? And you all mocked me pre-game, and yet once again, this guy is the big winner. Look at those 3 faces. That is perfect. That is the perfect way to finish tonight, with once again sour faces from these 3, even though Wolves have won, because they can't take it. I got it right.
I'm happy, really. I'm just not happy about you.
Next week, go.
Boys, it's been a real pleasure as always. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Andy Thompson, Carl Ikeme, and Chris Iwelumo. It is always good to enjoy ourselves when Wolves get a victory. And as we said right at the start of this post-match chat, nobody will look back and remember that first 45 minutes too much. But Wolves did the job. They came here, they've beaten Leeds again, and they have 3 wins from their first 5 games of the season, with 2 home games to come. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. Don't forget, you can go back and watch all the pre-match build-up again with Danny Mills, with Nua Dicko, and with Barry. Have a good one.